All right, good morning and welcome inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where today it's not just about a game, it's about the journey. To get to this stage today, it's by no accident. For these players, this opportunity did not start this week. It didn't start this season. It started a long time ago. And this opportunity for these guys, the early mornings, the long bus rides, the work that nobody else ever sees in this state where high school basketball is so important to these communities, these players, and these coaches, today is a full circle moment. And now it all leads here. Moments like this don't come around often. And when they do, they stay with you forever. So this morning and today, it's not just about who wins or loses. It's about who rises, who responds, and who writes the next chapter. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm Andy O'Hara, alongside me, Kenny Barnhart, and the Hall of Famer Orion Lim. They're here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network for this audio-only broadcast on YouTube for today's 1A state championship between the Triton Trojans and the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Kenny, to get here, as I said, it's no accident. It don't matter what your record was in the season, you made it to Indianapolis.
Yep, you had all sorts of scenarios throughout the season, how things went. Then you got into the postseason, and different things, how things come together there. But yeah, everybody's look was getting to state. So now you're here. So now you got to get that next step. Yeah, we got to state. Now we got to finish.
And for these teams, they had to come down here this week, practice shooting. You don't have the backdrop.
Nope.
You don't have the intimate high school gym that you're used to. It's spaced out. And as we were talking to Trent earlier today, college players even struggle with going into an NBA arena.
Yeah, they just he's seen it time and time again with the college players just going in. That whole background is just so much different for shooting. You just don't have that depth. Everything's wide open. And then just the stage of being what this game is just for that state championship, that mentality and everything that's led up this week is just, there is nothing you prepared all season long, because this week is just totally different.
Exactly. Let's talk about this coaching matchup today. For Barr-Reeve, Heath Howington in his first season, 27-1, 181 years over his 14-year career, where he has coached at Eastern Green, Bloomington South, Evansville, Harrison, but he's been a head coach at North Posey, Evansville Memorial for 5 years of those 13 years. Then, of course, Barr-Reeve this year. This guy's getting here, the Bloomington South, where he kind of spent time. He got to work with, Indiana's all-time winningest coach with J.R. Holmes and his time again in Bloomington South.
Yeah, you do see him as a first-year coach here, but yes, all the past history of where he's been and definitely being here, this is not just a new experience, so he can definitely lead them on.
And for the one guy that has called Bourbon his home for a long time, in his 21st season as head coach, Jason Groves, 371 years in his illustrious career. 18 years ago, he won a state championship. 2013 was the last time he brought this team here. And for Jason, it's business as usual. And that team walked down, as he said. He knows what it takes to get here. He knows what it means to play on this stage.
Yeah, and also getting here, once you got here now, there's probably been some things in the past that they probably would have done some different for pregame and that type of thing. So had that experience now to get these guys kind of calm down. Hey, it's a game, focus, and kind of now block everything out and just concentrate on what is hand here this morning.
Well, and you got to remember, these are teenagers. These aren't adults. These aren't people that are playing in the NBA or wherever else. The moment can get a little bit big, and for these guys here, their nerves are going to be running high. I'm broadcasting, and my nerves are running high.
Yeah, a little different for us even here to be just coming down here and coming in to experience this kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal for us. So yeah, it's been kind of nice to be here, and but even for them, being out there actually on the court and just got to settle down and take care of business. Like we always say when we get ready to go, it's time to go to work.
It's time to go to work. So let's talk about Barr-Reeve. 27-1. They won the Blue Chip Conference back-to-back years. 7-0 in conference play this year. Won their sectional, a team that's been on a roll and haven't lost a game since January 6th against Browntown Central. They've kind of rolled through a team that's number 2 in the state, number 9 in defensive points allowed, and they've got some guys that can really play some good basketball.
Yeah, you say their schedule toughness. They beat Washington, a 3A school, a 4A school, Terre Haute South, Vincennes, another 3A, Jasper, another 3A. So yeah, they've had a lot of those tough 3A, 4A wins this year, where Triton hasn't played a 4A and very few 3A. So yeah, they've been a little more on that tougher level there. So. And that's what's helped them get through. They was not expected to get through that semi-state game last week. So for them to step it up and get through that game, and to come into here, yeah, they've definitely gone to roll.
You know, these are two teams that were the percentages were single digits to even get here today and even win a national or win a state championship on this big stage. But for Barr-Reeve, a guy I really like is Kirsten Lonecker. This kid does it all. I mean, he passes, he shoots, he scores. He had 29 points in that game he had all those points there in that game in semi-state.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, a lot of those effectiveness is going through him. He's just going to be, big threes. He's made 46 threes on the year, and he's about 50% of those. So you can't just let him go unanswered out at the outside. You're going to have to definitely take care of him. And then the other thing is, if you do foul him, he's great at the free throw line.
Oh, he's great.
He's just definitely, if it gets into that last moment issues where you need to foul somebody, that's not the guy to get a hold of.
That team shoots 67% from the free throw line, and this is a team that's very good. I like the way they drive aggressively to the basket. They'll run a bunch of different things. If you kind of know the Triton Trojans, it's a similar style of basketball, the drive and kick, the different ways they let their defense really feed into their offense. But one guy for them, I know Kirsten Lonecker is kind of the guy. Carson Yoder's a great ball handler, but for me, the man wearing number 32, Jalen Graber. This kid here, his footwork's tremendous. He explodes to the basket. He gets out about 20 feet away. He takes the guy one-on-one. He's got the great dribble moves to set himself up, and then he just goes downhill in a hurry.
Yeah, and that might be one of those things. Triton might be concentrating on Leininger. They might be definitely just, hey, use him as a decoy and dump it to Graber to have him definitely, take over some of that shooting, and so it would be another 1-2 punch that they had to watch out for.
And for this Barr-Reeve team, they've got the size, they've got the shooters. There's a lot that's going to come down to it for them. And Kenny, we kind of look at it, it's going to be for them. They've got to control the tempo. They've got to play their style of basketball, because when you get down here, and one thing I like that Barr-Reeve has here today is their ability to score within the three-point line.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is maybe if that 3 points not there, they're definitely going to be working it inside and getting those points. So, with anything in the defensive battle, when you get the basketball, you're going to have to definitely score in type of this game and in this environment, because I don't think we've kind of talked earlier, don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game just because of the defensive battle on both teams and this environment, just something different.
And then it could be. We never know. You never know. It's just high school basketball. It's the beauty of this game, especially in the state of Indiana. You never know what's going to happen when you get down here. It's
just totally different. But, I definitely think Graber and Leininger are the two guys that Triton's going to have to definitely watch out for, and to try to and those guys are going to have to feed off of one another, keep Barr-Reeve going.
And for the Triton Trojans, the team we've covered every single game. For some of these guys, Orion has covered them back into fifth graders, playing sixth grade all the way here. And for them, we've seen the journey. We've seen the maturity and how they progress as players. A team that's been counted out, they said they're too small. They can't do this. They can't do that. The Triton Trojans earned their way to get here by simply playing my favorite type of basketball, team basketball. And I say all caps, underline, exclamation points. That's how Jason Grooves and his guys in that program, this is a team. Yeah,
there's not one of those that we have to feed the ball through somebody because he's open. We fed it because he is open, and then maybe I'm cutting and he's going to give me the ball right back because I'm wide open under the basket. So it's not one on everybody. It's everybody, like I say, as a team, and not just those starting five. It's pretty much anybody else that you have subbing in coming off the bench. Sometimes you look up and you don't even notice there was a difference because it just does not drop off when going to that bench.
And then you had guys, you look at the scores, of course, senior guy, for us, Julian Magic Swanson, as we like to call him. This kid has found a way to score on all three levels. He'll attack the rim. He may stand 5'9", but don't tell him that. He plays like he's 6'2". He attacks the basket. He hits the mid-range, and he can hit from anywhere on the floor.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always liked to him. You always see everybody wants to shoot the three, or you're actually trying to go in for that layup. But for him, he'll act like he's going to shoot the three, do a drive around, take that mid 15, 10-foot jumper and get it laid right in. So by doing that, he's by far the most ones that's attempted points for the Triton.
And we could talk about these guys all day, but you look at the sophomore Brady Wood. This kid here, Brady Buckets, Mr. Consistency, can score the basketball, but he also, when he is not having a game where he is scoring, he is lethal as a teammate, setting his group up defensively and offensively.
Yeah, he definitely when he puts it through there, then he's, if he's got some of those shots off there where he's not working, he'll definitely be a decoy and try to draw other people in, so that way draw attention around to get somebody else going if he's not definitely getting a one shot. But then if he gets on just look out because he can just start dropping those threes or then working around and taking those mid-range or even free throw or in there and getting them to the line.
And then Jaden Overmeyer in the post. We know what he can do. Mr. Athletic, he's great 15 feet in, and he has been a dominant force all season for this Triton team, all the way down into the paint, into the rim. This kid just seems to hang in the air. Then you got guys like Landon Patrick, Gage Riffle, what they bring. And then don't forget the guys come off the bench, and Jamison Swanson and Isaac Quintana.
Yeah, definitely. Like Overmeyer, watching him going against some of these big guys there, and you're just like, how is he going to handle this? Next thing you know, he's doing reverse layups underneath the basket because he's just gotten the guys just not expecting somebody to go around underneath. And so he's been definitely getting it in. Riffle, definitely when he gets out there to the three-point line, gets some of those to drop down. But then he's also had games that those hasn't worked like he should. So then definitely being able to dump the ball around, getting somebody else in, and then his defensive going, and then rolling into defensive Landon Patrick. The steals that he's
master of chaos.
Knowing out there, just that half court, just stepping somebody in front of him, catching, and definitely getting around the stepping in the passing lanes, picking the ball off, going down for a fast break layups, and just know what we can kind of watch seeing all season.
And for these guys, I mean, I know for them and Jason Groves, for anybody that's on this floor at this moment, you can't let it get too big. You got to come out, Triton. You got to do what you can. Create chaos. But for Triton, one thing that I've appreciated about this team all year long is their efficiency on the offensive side, averaging a point per possession, point per shot, where their opponents are less than that in the ballgame. That's how tough their defense is. Of course, the number 4 team in defensive points allowed in the state of Indiana. Yeah,
that's a big thing there for them. When they have the ball, definitely make something of that ball, and a lot of that's coming from Patrick getting those balls and steals, gutting down with that possession, getting those 2 points in. So they're just working and being efficient when they have the ball.
And for these guys, we got to talk to them. We got to see them. Of course, they've been interviewing. If you want to say anything, we prepped these guys for all the interviews they had coming up. So I guess it was good they got to do all those interviews that Coach made them do with us. But for them, this group here, you kind of have a different mentality. I mean, the Blonde Bombers are going to explode here today, and their community is behind them. Getting to hear everybody yesterday, everybody is fired up for this ball game.
Yeah. It's been a while. Everybody, the team's been, the town has just been rolling in behind them. Everything been passed out there. Such a banner's been put up there. Painted
vehicles
all the windows.
Have been done.
Vehicles all been done up there. We come down a little early, so we kind of missed the big caravan coming down, but I'm sure it was the blue and gold streak all down 31.
Exactly. I mean, and like I said, there's something with either community. Barr-Reeve, of course, we may not know them personally, but for them, these 1A schools, it's small towns that these people are fired up today.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal for them, and then sometimes following this in the postseason, sometimes the 1 and 2s, covering it for Triton, the 1 and 2A schools seem to be carrying a lot more than some of the 3 and 4As. So definitely the atmosphere here should definitely be pretty good.
And like we said, the atmosphere, it's going to fill up even more because with Westview's game. And
another good team.
Another good team that we've got to cover this year. They're down here today. But Triton, one of the few teams out of the north, being, of course, Crown Point coming down, but a team in our area, Triton, the only one to find their way to the big dance here, is a big deal. And since 2013, they're looking for it. Barr-Reeve is looking for their first title since 2021.
Yep, another school there that, they've been here before too, so it's not going to be their first time. So, but, it's been a little bit of time till they've been here. So coming in here, and they kind of like Triton have been the runners-up. So definitely this time here, they want to try to do it.
And, of course, today our uniform sponsors as we get ready before the final pregame festivities. For today, Kenny?
Yep, without Bourbon Mini Storage, getting that time of year, time to start cleaning things out of the garage from the winter time, get rid of it, put it in a storage unit. So we got 5x10s, 10x10s, 10x20s, 10x30s, all available at bourbonministorage.com.
And, of course, the Barr-Reeve Vikings, they're on the floor here before we get the pregame festivities going in their black road uniforms with Barr-Reeve printed across the chest. Their Jordan-branded uniforms, white numerals outlined in red. And for the Triton Trojans in their home uniforms today, the blue Triton across the chest, the gold numerals outlined in blue. These two teams look good and look sharp today. Of course, today featuring the Indiana State Finals patch on their left shoulder.
Gets something a little different.
Get to take those home, I believe, right? Or
I believe so. So, definitely a lot of different things for them this week.
Exactly. So we appreciate Bourbon Mini Storage for the uniform sponsor of today. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll turn over to the Commissioner's Corner before we get some of the pregame festivities because we're going to be fans for about 2 minutes and watch this little hype video. Of course, you guys can't see it because we cannot do video today. So we'll be back right after this.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome to a special in-person version of the Commissioner's Corner. It's our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. I'm Brendan King. Paul, what's to be said? IHSAA boys basketball state finals. We're at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, getting to be together today instead of through Zoom. This is one of the best times of year. You take it from there.
Well, first of all, I get to hang out with you today, and that's really a great day for me, and Eddie, I appreciate the work that you do, but here we are. We've written 114 chapters about the Indiana High School Basketball Association tournament, and this year we're going to write 115 for the next chapter in the book. And, you know, it is a storybook because there's so many stories over the year, and every year puts a new spin on it. New teams win. There may be another last-second Luke Zeller's shot to win a game. We just don't know. But we're excited to see how that story unfolds this coming Saturday.
We are passionate about every single IHSAA sport and event, but this is a tournament that you yourself got to play in. So when you see the kids in there getting interviewed by the media professionals, you have your meetings with the coaches, what memories does that bring back for you?
Well, it's always been about the dream. You know, your coach talks to you in the summertime about you need to do this, you need to work hard, you need to get better, and that way you can start achieving your dreams as a basketball player. And the team goal was always to win a sectional, number one, and then obviously see where you can advance to the tournament. And so those things I remember vividly about. I learned to dream when I was a high school athlete. My coach taught me that I could do things that I couldn't see for myself, which allowed me to advance through the rest of my life as an educator and ultimately as the commissioner of the IHSAA. And I'm so thankful that I grew up in a system and a state that cares more about development of student athletes than it does sometimes in the wins and the losses. And I think that's why Indiana is just a special place. 4
spectacular ball games on tap. You're meeting again with all the teams today on this Monday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse where we're talking today. What's this set for you guys to get those expectations set for everybody and everybody on the same page come Saturday?
Well, first of all, we're playing in a different kind of venue. We're playing in the best basketball facility in the country. We're working with great people with Pacer Sports and Entertainment. But it's different. It's different when it comes to the seating and how we do ticketing and the time schedule that we have and all the pageantry that goes along with the state finals. So we've got to get everybody up to speed on that information today, which we're working hard to do. Staff does a great job. Brian Lewis runs the boys basketball tournament, and Brian's phenomenal in his organization around this. And everybody's going to get a path to get to that game. And once we hit that buzzer and the teams take the floor, Hayes in the barn. We're ready to go. We're ready to play some games.
That's Paul and Brendan. It's the Commissioner's Corner. And again, coming up on Saturday, it's the IHSAA boys basketball state finals. Let's talk about your partners in the Pacers and the Fever that helped put this on. You talked about how special a venue this is. That fact that we get to be here today, with everybody getting things set for Saturday. That relationship that you guys have built with Pacer Sports and Entertainment, what's it meaningful?
Well, it's incredible. Not every state gets to enjoy what we do with the Pacer Sports and Entertainment. And their people want us here. We feel that when we come in here. They're excited when we come into the venue. We're excited to be here. And again, I've worked in a lot of facilities, and I hear stories from a lot of states. It doesn't work this way everywhere else. It works this way in Indiana because Indiana is it's just a special place. It's different than other states, and we're excited to be part of that. But we also understand that we're guests when we're here, and we've got to make sure that we treat it as special as it is, but we know that we're guests, and we're going to follow whatever they tell us to do on this great day.
Small communities, big communities, all coming out on Saturday, but you guys expecting big numbers?
We are, and it shows that communities still matter, but culture is first and foremost. If a community has a great culture, their teams are going to follow them to the state finals, and I think we're going to have some great crowds on Saturday.
Paul, about 20 seconds here, just putting a wrap on this IHSAA sports season, or at least this winter sports season with basketball. How proud of what you did this year in both girls and boys hoops?
Well,
will be performed by Lucy Stanbaugh of Noblesville High School.
Well, it's the starting lineups up. Of course, somebody's a fan of Gage. That one went across the way. Of course, all the Triton fans in blue and gold today. A lot of the state champions, and of course, blue and gold all the way up, and it matches the arena if you're going to be if you're a Pacers fan.
Yep, yeah, definitely blends right in here.
Oh, we're supposed to stay standing until the flag goes out.
Oh, I don't know. We went right in. We went right off commercial breaks. They can just deal with it. It's all right. No big deal. So for these guys, they're getting ready to do the hype video with Jason Groves and company. Of course, can't see it here today. It's up on the Jumbotron as they introduce the two sides. We'll go down with our starting lineups real quick as we will announce them real fast, but then we'll wait and we'll put it on the PA in here momentarily. Of course, we'll start with the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Number 10, Kirsten Loneker will be starting. And Carson Yoder, number 22, Braxton Knighty will be wearing number 24. Jalen Graber wearing number 32. And number 42, Josh Miller, will be the starting lineups out there for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. And for the Trojans, Landon Patrick wearing number 4 today for his team. Number 10, Julian Swanson. Number 12, Jaden Overmeyer. Number 20, Gage Riffle. And number 24, Brady Wood. As these two sides, they show the amazing game and the Jamison Swanson 3, which Showtime, that was a fun one to call.
Yeah, definitely there to come right in there. And we said when he came in here, they needed something to spark to get him going. And that's the first thing he did was come in and got that 3. And that led him on that little rally to get the lead.
Kenny, final adjustments here before they get to the starting lineups and announce all these players here today. If you're Triton, if you're Coach Groves, what are you saying?
Hey, this is a game. We've played 20-some before. It's another game. Go at it the same way. Yes, it's on a bigger stage, but concentrate, play like a team like you did all season.
And Heath Howington and his group, I'm sure it's the same conversation for them. And, if you come down here, it's a big stage. These cheerleaders all excited. Lights are going everywhere. As we get ready, we are going to turn it over to the PA announcer for the lineups for the Barr-Reeve Vikings and then followed by the Triton Trojans.
Number 11, Brody Small. Number 12, Ripley Wirtz. Number 14, Morgan Boyd. Number 20, Brendan Cornelius. Number 23, Mildred Thompson. And number 30, Easton Graber. And now the starting lineup for the Vikings. At guard, a 6'1" junior wearing number 10, Kirsten Loneker. At guard, a 5'9" junior, number 22, Carson Yoder. At forward, a 6'3" sophomore, number 24, Braxton Knighty. At guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 32, Jalen Graber. And at forward, a 6'1" sophomore, number 42, Josh Miller. The head coach of the Vikings in his first season, Heath Howington. And now, let's meet the champions of the Northern Semi-State. Today's roster includes number 3, Blaze Hensley. Number 5, James Swanson. Number 14, Isaac Quintana. Number 22, Jacob Arnett. Number 30, Levi McFarland. Number 34, Max Johnson. And number 40, Cole Barr. And now the starting lineup for the Trojans. At guard, a 5'11" senior wearing number 4, Landon Patrick. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 10, Julian Swanson. At forward, a 6' senior, number 12, Jaden Overmeyer. At guard, a 6' senior, number 20, Gage Riffle. At guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 24, Brady Wood. And coach of the Trojans in his 21st season, Jason Groves. Fans, the IHSAA would like to recognize Matt Albrecht.
Well, it's the starting lineups out there for both sides. As looks like the camera's still trying to get figured out over there for our scoreboard. As they get ready to go, all the officials take the floor. The two lineups out there, this place is rocking. It's not something you see on a high school level. Of course, it's off because we have someone standing there. That's why our camera's not going to work. We got a lot of people down on the floor, so our scoreboard may malfunction. I'll do my best to keep up with it as much as possible.
Gets done over there.
So the officials' final instructions as the alternate takes his seat behind the bench. The three officials take their spots as they check on the scoreboard table. Final instructions going on between the head coaches with their respective sides as a state championship on the line. Who will write the final chapter and be crowned 1A state champions? It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, yep. The atmosphere is definitely getting louder in here, and everybody's getting all set, getting in their spots. And
Ryan, you might just want to ask him to move.
Yep, there he finally goes.
All right, so here we go. Both sides make their way out to the floor. Braxton Knighty will await the center circle as Triton senior Jaden Overmeyer, the Jet, takes his place inside the center circle. The ball meets midcourt. The players touch and double check. Brady Wood has checked it. Now back to the official. And he makes his way to center court. Final instructions. The stage is set. And a 1A state champion is going to be crowned. Final one more check, I guess.
Yep.
Hey, double check. It's state championship. You better make sure you're set. All Triton fans and Barr-Reeve fans on their feet. The ball is up. And the Trojans will control the tip as Landon Patrick goes to work outside the three-point line. He's on the right wing, going to push it up top. As looks like the Vikings are going to come out with a box-and-one defense. A little bit of a trap to see if they can force the Trojans into some turnovers here early on. Patrick on the right wing. Stops outside the three-point line, goes to Swanson. Dials a three off the front iron, short of the mark from straight away. And, Knighty comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing here now. Just get used to these, this atmosphere here and getting that shot.
Carson Yoder works to the left side wing as he goes into the corner. He's going to feed Grabers. He goes back outside. And going to set back up for Carson Yoder. Working on the left wing, push across lane, and Patrick intercepts the basketball. In transition from the left side, up and in! The master of chaos is on the board.
Yep, that's what he's known for. Usually you don't quite do it quite early in the game to let everybody kind of get placed, but he's seen the opportunity and just took off with it.
And Triton's going to fall into a man look on defense as Yoder's going to work to Graber here on the left wing. Back to Yoder across the way. Number 22 is going to work it back to the near side. Graber goes back to Yoder, feeds it down into the middle. Miller's going to try a shot, off the mark, no good. Rebound there belongs to Gage Riffle. Julian Swanson works across the floor from us in front of the scorer's table, now stops in the left wing. Landon Patrick outside, they work it back and forth, and now Julian Swanson going to direct the offense as he stands on the half-court logo.
Looks like they pulled that box-and-one out there.
And our first foul call is Landon Patrick caught the ball on the right wing, and a little over-aggression there by Carson Yoder.
So Yoder's going to pick up his first, of course, team's first. But yeah, just kind of reaching for the ball there, and they kind of hit heads a little bit, but I think they're fine.
Brady Wood's going to inbound from the near sideline across the way right in front of us as he goes to Gage Riffle. Now to Julian Swanson. The offense is going to get set. The Vikings going to stay in a man look on defense as Patrick going to roll away from the right wing. Now on the baseline, kicks it away, goes to Brady Wood. Now to Julian Swanson pushing it to Gage Riffle. Riffle outside the three-point line. Look, now he takes him off the dribble on the left side, stops on the side of the lane, feeds Overmeyer on the left baseline. Overmeyer goes out to the corner. Landon Patrick now with it. Patiently, now he will attack. Stops the free throw line, kicks out to Gage Riffle. Riffle, top of the key, swings it back right to Landon. Triton's offense taking their time. Of course, no shot clock in high school basketball in the state of Indiana. Plenty of time to work. Brady Wood isolating, picked up by Graber. Goes to Landon Patrick on the right side. Now he'll attack the lane, picks it to Overmeyer, outside to Swanson. Swanson puts on the brakes, retreats back, almost fell down, regains control as he stands inside the three-point line. Now goes to Overmeyer. Overmeyer attacks, banks open! He hit that one from inside the lane, and Triton with a 4-0 run to start.
Yep, they just kind of worked the ball, finally let a little breakdown on defense, let Triton to roll right in for a basket.
Yoder goes to Graber on the left wing, gets it right back at the top of the key, swings it down in to Knighty. Knighty in the lane, kicks outside, one more pass, Yoder to Graber. Now he'll feed Miller on the left block, kicks it outside to the left wing. Graber now with the basketball crossover. Now he'll attack downhill with a floater in the middle, short of the mark. Rebound there belongs to Landon Patrick. Patrick crosses the timeline, middle of the court as he goes left to Gage Riffle. Riffle on the left wing, up on top to Brady Wood. Brady Wood feeding Swanson now on the right wing as Triton going to work. Swanson off the dribble, he'll attack the middle. Going to go up with the right hand, up and gets the friendly roll. Julian Swanson is in a timeout for the Vikings as Triton, this is how you wanted to start.
Yeah, you wanted to come out here strong. You wanted to come here, take it right to them. Don't be timid and play your ball.
But for Barr-Reeve, the thing to look at, this is a early game. It's not started. You're only 3 minutes into the state championship, but a good timeout here to get the team focused because things can unravel quickly. Doesn't look like any substitutions I'm not seeing yet.
I'm just looking to see that was 30-second timeout.
Yep.
To make sure to get there.
Of course, we're away from the scorer's table, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for us. So
see across
Kenny, it'll be up there on the scoreboard tonight.
Yeah, I have to look up across there. Even they got us fed with a little bit of stats here in front of us, but it's not the best for me to look. There we go, 30-second. They finally got it up there.
We're a little closer to West than we normally are.
Yeah, we're a little closer to West.
Yep, a little closer to West as both sides take the floor out of the timeout. Triton needs to keep their foot on the gas, keep doing what they're doing, keep playing mistake-free basketball.
Yep.
And for Barr-Reeve, it's time to control it because right now this team has all the momentum, and it is a noisy place inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Yeah, they come down here taking a couple good shots, but just haven't got them to drop. So you got to, for Barr-Reeve, they're just going to have to think, hey, yeah, we missed a couple, but we still got to keep at it.
Loneker will leave it to Carson Yoder, who brings up the middle of the floor. Patrick picks him up the logo. Now to Loneker in front of the scorer's table, swings it here to the near side. As he goes to Graber, they'll skip it back and forth across outside the three-point line. Now back to Graber on the left wing. Graber goes inside on the elbow there as Yoder stops in the lane, fights for contact, banks open, and the Vikings are on the board.
I think they've had that earlier, but they've just not been able to get anything to work.
Brady Wood now pushes it up past the timeline to Landon Patrick, who breaks the double team. Now to Swanson outside the three-point line and gets swarmed. Barr-Reeve's going to take away a little more of a zone look on a defense as Swanson, right wing three. Magic Swanson hits from beyond the arc. And Julian Swanson on the board just hits from anywhere. Triton is coming out on fire. Graber now outside the left wing, going to feed it inside in the lane. Good feed down in tonight. He banks open. The assist there belongs to Carson Yoder.
Yeah, he definitely seen that underneath there to get it underneath for a good, nice lob.
And now they're going to pressure up the floor as Triton breaks the timeline, but it's a good defense. Swanson trapped in the corner in front of the scorer's table. Jason Groves calls timeout, and he'll get a 30-second. Good timeout there, and uncommon for Jason Groves to call one early when his team's been going, but saw trouble there.
Yeah, that and they had that kind of that first possession there that kind of threw that trap, and then they pulled it off, but then pulled that trap back out. So I think Jason said, hey, let's going to give some pointers here to how to get around that trap now, because that was a little more aggressive than they'd seen earlier.
Looks like they're going to take a full. It was a 30-second timeout. I'm surprised they're letting Triton sit down on the bench.
Well, both teams are down there.
Did they take the first media timeout?
That would probably be the first media timeout.
Yes, it is under 4. So I forgot about that.
Yeah, we have media timeouts today, something that we're not used to.
Yeah, we had to reread that. So anytime under 4 minutes, with a break, they'll have a 90-second media timeout. So forgot about that.
So, of course, want to give our student team, Caden and Caitlin, as they're in the student section here today. Can't run the cameras on the floor at past regional, but those two found their way to stand across the way. Caden's wearing blue sunglasses in his Halliburton jersey today, and Caitlin, of course, wearing the regional championship or the semi-state championship shirt that was passed out this week. But of course, you know, Kenny, it's been for me. This is something that I've never got the chance to experience. You guys have had the opportunity, but this is a whole new ball game for me.
Not this close for me on the court.
Okay,
but
I guess calling. Orion's been here.
Yep, Ryan's been down here
with Bill Keel and Carson Kraft.
Yep.
The closest thing I've came to, and it wasn't this loud, was Grand Drive at the Indiana State Fair back in the early 2000s. So
yep, definitely big atmosphere. It got everybody up there got the camera. They kind of got that experience there for them at regional.
Yep.
They did the.
Of course, the Triton fans are prepared.
Yep.
They were on the jumbo screen, and that one was Barr-Reeve. You know, for them, may not come out the way they kind of wanted, but they found a way to. Let's talk about basketball here.
Yep.
As they go back in, they did a great job just coming out. Those couple set plays to kind of bring them into the ball game, and to bring them back in, get them focused in. But then they come out this box of one where they're trying to bring everybody across the floor to see if they can force Triton into some mistakes.
Yeah, they seen that's how Triton got a few points is just off of mistakes out here at the top of the key and under and at the half court. So they're coming out with that strapping defense here. So Triton definitely going to have to step it up here. And but yeah, with Triton coming down here scoring, but Barr-Reeve being able to set couple set plays, got a couple shots in. Kind of now they got a little more rhythm. Just watching here now, seeing that they're a little more focused and ready to go.
Of course, both sides take the four. Still lineups are unchanged, I do believe.
Yep, didn't see anybody checking in.
Nobody checks in, so both starting five still out there on the floor. Triton will inbound from the left or to the right side of the scorer's table. Brady Wood goes into the backcourt to Landon Patrick, and he'll bring it across the timeline. Triton go back to work. Yoder picks up Patrick. As Barr-Reeve falls back into a man defense, Riffle on the right wing goes up on top to Overmeyer. Left wing now Patrick looking up top, not there. Has the dribble, now he'll attack the lane. Patrick drives, tries to draw the foul, no call. Overmeyer cleans it up, can't knock it down. The putback, he's fouled. So Patrick missed, Overmeyer rebound, but right there you want to see him attack the basket, but Triton, Jaden Overmeyer getting to the line.
Yeah, he got up there aggressive enough to go up there and draw on that foul. Wasn't able to quite get it to drop in there then. So it'll be our first free throws this morning.
As Jaden Overmeyer settles in, the first one on the way, rattles out at the right side of the rim. Our first substitution checking in as Corbin Boyd will check in on behalf of Carson Yoder. So he'll be wearing the number 14 out there today. Now Overmeyer missed the first. The Barr-Reeve fans making their point known. Overmeyer with the back iron, missed both. Some free fries are being handed out somewhere, and back go the Vikings. Loneker will handle the ball handling duties as he enters the center circle. He lays crossing the timeline. Now top of the key, sizes up, goes on over to Boyd. Boyd looking to push here to the near side to Graber. Triton going to fall into a little different look on defense. Boyd attacks the rim. Can't knock it down from the right side. Cleaned up by Miller. The left hand shot is good.
Triton kind of boxed him in, but then left him go, and then he'd get that shot off.
Now a 1-3-1 press defense here being played by the Vikings. Swanson working out near mid-court. He goes back to work. He's going to kind of push that score table. Here comes the trap. And Patrick trying to draw a foul, throws it away. Good defense there by Knighty. Outside Loneker, feeds it down into Knighty on the baseline on the right block. Goes to work, fires a shot, can't knock it down. Brady Wood gets the rebound, and back go the Trojans in transition. Julian Swanson crosses the timeline outside. Now he drives, lost the basketball, and a foul call. As he was driving to the basket, got kind of bumped there.
So Knighty's going to pick up his first, team's second.
So Knighty picks up his first foul. And now Patrick goes to work from his own baseline as he triggers the play. Looking outside to the corner to Gage Riffle. Riffle now waiting and throws away. Brady Wood cleans it up. Brady Wood outside the three-point line, pushing it right to Julian Swanson. Knighty takes away the look as they work it back around the perimeter. Jamison Swanson going to check in next dead ball. Julian Swanson outside, goes to Landon Patrick, knocked away by Loneker. He's going to track it down in the full court. Now he'll attack from the right block, goes up, and a charge! Julian Swanson did a nice job tracking him, got there inside the lane, put on the brakes, and just used that contact against him. So Jamison Swanson checks in on behalf of Gage Riffle, but what a play by the Trojans defensively to, hey, we're going to take away that aggressive drive.
Yeah, get right in there and get set so that way you can definitely get that charge.
Now the Vikings back to a 1-3-1 defense as they're going to put on the full court pressure for the Trojans. Overmeyer outside, pushes it back to Landon Patrick on the near side corner, outside the three-point line, now inside to Brady Wood. Spins, and a reach-in foul called, and the Vikings, the fouls are starting to pile up.
I believe that's going to be on Boyd, I think, right off coming back. Yep. So Boyd's going to pick up his first, but the team's fourth already.
Jason Groves kneels as he looks on to his sophomore, Brady Wood, as he gets to the line. Quick conference with his coaching staff. Howington asking the official for explanation. Now he's talking to Loneker, trying to get things figured out as Brady Wood's first free throw on the way knocks it down.
Yeah, I was sure that he was shooting on that.
That's kind of what I didn't think he was either.
That's what I was thinking. He was just getting ready to inbound it because they don't have 5 fouls yet.
And Brady Wood tickles the twine on his next free throw, and back go the Vikings. Pressure has been backed off. No Trojans in the front court there. As Boyd crosses the timeline. Outside the three-point line, he works left. Feeding it down into the baseline. Graber back out to Boyd. Top of the key now, dribbles away. Now he leaves it to Miller here on the left wing. Outside to Loneker. He stands on the logo as he works right. Now he's in front of the scorer's table as the two sides getting things figured out. Triton in a man defense. He uses the screen to his left. Here comes Overmeyer to jump the route. He feeds it back to Boyd. Boyd now stops and retreats back to the three-point line. Overmeyer almost came away with that one.
Minute 30 to go.
Knocked away by Brady Wood, and a reach-in foul called.
Yep, being a little aggressive there and just kind of retch across. So Brady's going to pick up his first, team's first.
And Triton got a little handsy in the semi-save where Brady Wood unfortunately found himself in foul trouble in that ball game. And here comes Isaac Quintana as he looks to check in for Jaden Overmeyer. So Quintana now out there on the floor with Jamison Swanson, Julian Swanson, Landon Patrick, and Brady Wood for the Trojans as the ball goes in the backcourt to Boyd. Boyd enters the logo as he crosses the timeline, working right. He leaves it for Graber. Up on top to Knighty. Knighty pushes it to Loneker on the left wing. Picked up by Landon Patrick. He goes to work outside the three-point line. Now off the dribble. He tacks the left side of the lane. Gets it knocked away by Jamison Swanson. Now Julian Swanson in transition, 2-on-3 fast break, puts on the brakes, lost the basketball, it's free, and the ball's on the floor. They're trying to fight for it. No calls are being made. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Trojans get it. There was a scuffle on the floor. I thought a jump ball was coming or potentially a foul, but nothing called, and the Vikings faithful making their point. No, they do not like what they see.
Yeah, I could see the ball being flopped around there, but just enough people in the road that, could not see if anybody had enough contact to warrant the jump ball. But, being on the floor, either a jump ball or a turnover or a travel.
So inside a minute to go here in this first quarter. Patrick crosses the timeline, goes to Julian Swanson in the corner. Triton likes to hold for this final shot, and now the Vikings going to change up their defense. A little bit of that box and one as they go tall to Jamison Swanson in the corner.
Yeah, they were set. They was not going to let Triton.
Brady Wood through the lane, lost the basketball, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay right here.
Yeah, the Vikings were not going to let Triton just stand out here and kill some time. They just immediately changed their defense to put some in and get them moving.
41.5 seconds to go. Brady Wood receives the inbound. Patrick hands it off to Quintana, top of the key. Isaac now stops on the elbow, leaves it for Julian Swanson. Swanson outside the three-point line and retreats back. Miller's going to back off the pressure. He's going to wait for him, and Swanson kind of dialing him up. Looking to hold. We'll see if the Vikings change up here again.
Yep, that 20 seconds here right now. Just kill another 10 seconds or so, and it'll be roll right into go time.
And just about as Landon Patrick receives the handoff at the logo. Picked up by Graber. Here we go. It's go time. Jamison Swanson on the right wing. On top to Quintana. Patrick outside the three-point line. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Patrick attacks the lane. Goes out to Swanson for a three. Can't knock it down. Rebound to Miller, and he heaves it down the floor. That does it for the first quarter. Triton leads 11-6. We'll take a break. Be back after this right here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
All right, welcome back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, site of today's Indiana State Championships as we're in the 1A game. I'm Andy O'Hara. Alongside me on the call is Kenny Barnhart and the Hall of Famer Ryan Limler here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network for this audio-only broadcast on YouTube here today. Kenny, we see the two sides, trying to dial up that last-second deal there. Couldn't quite get it done, but this, like I said, this Barr-Reeve team is very good at playing defense, and it showed off there with their ability to adjust. Yeah,
the Triton, they're coming out there at the beginning, getting up a lead there. A little timeout for Barr-Reeve, kind of got things readjusted. Come back here and come in and kind of stop Triton for a little while. They're not getting them to score there, and then they got a couple right here towards the end of that first quarter. But Triton not really being timid, just still playing their normal game. I think took Barr-Reeve just a few possessions here to kind of get their rush stuck off a little bit, and then they was finally able to get going. So both teams, I think now the second quarter is going to be quite a bit different than we've seen at that first quarter.
Exactly. You guys, the two heavyweight battles trying to figure out what they were the two heavyweight fighters trying to figure out what they wanted to do to battle out there on the floor. They were kind of feeling each other out, trying going off to that early run, and then after that timeout, Barr-Reeve rattled off a few baskets. It's a 5-point game, but right now in the state championship, anything can happen.
Yeah, Triton getting 4 of their points off of turnovers, and then 6 of their points in the paint. So, but then also second chance points for Barr-Reeve, getting a couple of their points in, just getting that rebound, getting it right back up and in.
Triton's a team that averages 21 points a game off of turnovers, forcing those. I mean, they're making their teams turn over the basketball on average of 16 times a game to their 8.
Yeah, so definitely pushing that defensive effort.
So Triton takes the floor. Landon Patrick, Jamison, and Julian Swanson out on the floor. Isaac Quintana and Brady Wood out there for the Vikings. Loneker was out there with Boyd, Graber, Knighty, and Miller will round up their starting 5 is here to start the second quarter. Vikings will have the basketball. That's right. You're good.
Yep, making sure.
It's a little harder for us being away from the basket. But Graber stands at center court. on the near sideline here, away from the scorer's table. He goes in the backcourt to Boyd, and the Vikings go back to work and try going to turn the pressure up right away.
Yeah, not even going to let him get across half court. Just going to step right into it.
Lonaker goes to Boyd inside the right wing. He'll go out to the corner, fires a three as Miller can't knock it down. The box out is good as the rebound there belongs to Julian Swanson. Swanson pushing it left to Landon Patrick, and back go the Trojans. Patrick outside, hands it off to Julian Swanson, top of the key, as the Vikings stay in their man-to-man defense. Brady Wood stops on the free throw line, hands it off to Patrick. Now to Julian Swanson inside the three-point line. He drives into the lane, getting harassed there. Now goes to Jamison Swanson. Swanson on the right wing with the up fake. He'll try to drive the middle, kicks it away from the free throw line. Patrick onside, spins his way in the lane, blocked there by Miller. Patrick regains control, attacks, and knocks it down.
That's one of those things. Don't give up. Just have a different way to get the ball and up into the basket.
Now Lonaker going to bring it up slowly, let his offense take shape as he crosses the timeline. Leads it to Boyd. He'll set the table on offense. Boyd outside the three-point line. Sizing it up. Triton going to change up their look. Still a man look on defense, but kind of more of a zone look as well.
Yep, just kind of stepping into it. Got areas, but yet definitely get a man-to-man when the ball's in that area.
Lonaker goes out to Boyd. Boyd fakes it left, hangs on to it at the top of the key. Waits for Lonaker to get freed up as he sends the bounce pass to him. Lonaker up on top of the key, goes to Miller, now back to Boyd on the right wing. Try and give him all the respect, not a even pressure on the three-point line as Miller now on the left elbow. He drives through with the left hand, banks open.
Just a nice good step there and just a step around and that left hand and away from defender right up and in.
Patrick calls out the play. He'll set the table and back with the Trojans on offense. Patrick working outside, top of the key. Now he elects to drive, looking for Brady Wood. Back doors closed out to Jamison Swanson on the left wing. Hands it to Julian. Julian on the left wing. Top of the key. Now he'll work it left to Landon Patrick. Scans the defense. Now will start his dribble. Hands it to Jamison. Both sides just kind of running their offense. Good defense by Graber. Brady Wood through the lane, goes up, gets a ripped away from Graber, and the Vikings come away with the turnover. Nobody's in a hurry. The other way is Lonaker. Here comes the double team. Top of the key. Goes to the corner. He's got Graber. Fires a corner three. Counted from the corner. And the Vikings have drawn within two. Patrick crosses the timeline. Now he'll fake the handoff. Patrick looking to attack. Goes out to Brady Wood. On top of the key now to Julian Swanson outside the three-point line. He works it to Landon Patrick. Patrick working up top, crossover dribble, hands it to Jamison Swanson on the left wing. Swanson drives the lane with the runner up off the window and good.
That was before when he came in off the bench, did some scoring there in that semi-state game. Definitely for him coming in doing the same thing.
Showtime, definitely a spark plug for this Triton team. Boyd now goes on over to Lonaker outside the three-point line. Top of the game, Miller works it now back to Boyd on the right wing. Boyd feeds it into 90 on the right side of the lane. Miller drives the left side of the lane. He'll attack off the window. Banks close. Rebound. Gets his own rebound. Put back on the way. And this one is good.
Yeah, he's been taking that left side there and just kind of going right up and in. Triton's just going to have to step in there and try to block off that lane he's made.
Barr-Reeve very good inside the lane. Showing off there on offense is Swanson. Top of the key. Hands it off to Jamison. Jamison back to Julian. Left side three. Off the front iron. No good. Brady Wood fighting for it. Tips it to Landon Patrick. Swanson down the corner. Retreats back. Now he'll attack the baseline. And a charge called as he kind of went off the momentum there.
Was it that or did the ball touch I think he lost the ball and it went down to the.
We'll see what they call here because it looked like the one official made a charge.
Oh, that wasn't the right one.
So now the ball game is Jaden Overmeyer and Gage Riffle as that will sit down Quintana and Brady Wood. Lonaker nears half court as he crosses the timeline. A screen being set up top. He uses it, set there by 90. On the left elbow, goes to the right elbow to 90, and a charge. 90 spins into there, and Triton was waiting. Who else? Gage Riffle, the mailman, delivers a turnover for the Trojans.
Or for the Vikings.
Oh, for the Vikings, rather.
Yep.
Or will they come away with it?
Yep.
I knew what I meant. It's all right. A lot of things to look at. Lights, boy, ain't going to go well for me today. Patrick outside the three-point line on the right wing, hands it to Julian Swanson. Swanson back to Patrick, looks to attack, stops on the elbow, nothing there on the baseline. Goes out, tip there, and it goes off the hand. It went off Gage Riffle last.
Yep.
Graber got his hand on it there. It tipped off him, and Riffle reached up to touch it, and it goes out of the sideline. And I believe we're going to have a Thunder 4 media timeout.
Yep. So, I definitely see that was right in front of us here. It did hit Riffle's finger there and went out of bounds.
So, of course, things going back in Bourbon. Of course, the FFA auction is coming up.
Yep, stuff for taking consignments right now. If you hurry up and get me, if you need to get something advertised, if you can hurry up and get it to us over the weekend, sale bill's getting printed on Monday, sent up to get there. But if you don't, we still keep adding it. And then they'll start taking consignments out there at Bates Corporation. Steve Feldman and Tim Limmer handling all that type of stuff there for us, or for the FFA. Bringing it in, getting it tagged, and having that auction set up. So,
and I will say, as a person who's bought stuff in the auction, it is a very easy process go on there. There's always a lot of good things.
Yep, it's always online now with it. We've done that, and it's nice there. And come in, we'll have we're going to have a preview day there on the April I got to remember what the date was.
Was it the 10th?
10th? Is that the 9th? Nope, I got to go up here.
That's
the
May.
4th.
There you go, the 4th. So,
4th, yep.
So next Saturday, of course, you have the
11th.
Not the 11th.
There, yep. 11th is the preview day, so come in. Everything should be there and lauded. You can take a look and see what you want, and have some donuts. Farm Credit sponsors some donuts there. So come and get a donut.
Donuts are always good.
Always good. There.
Always good. Donuts are always good.
And they can definitely, and that's where your meet and greet to talk to your neighbor. Come in and see what's for sale.
It wouldn't be a TTSN broadcast if we didn't talk about food.
It's been a little while, so we got to get the donuts rolled into there.
So, of course, with these two sides, the timeout, the media timeout there, Triton doing a nice job again, drawing those charges, forcing those turnovers, and with these sides and what they're able to do, Barr-Reeve has climbed back into it, outscoring the Trojans 7-4 in this quarter.
Yeah, that's a big thing there. Just a slow start, but I figured it's going to take a little bit here, and Barr-Reeve's just going to be able to go right back at it and definitely going to get right in here. So you're going to have to watch them come in here after this timeout here. They could just keep pushing the pressure there, and now that they know that the lane been a little bit open for them, they can definitely start scoring.
Of course, for us, we got in here today at 8 a.m. VIP parking. The truck is decorated. Trent had to handle the parking duties because we got here a little early. But either way, got in, got set up in a hurry. And for these guys here, I never got a list of who the officials were.
I just looked in the program. I couldn't find them.
I did not get a list of who the officials were today. I was waiting for them to announce them, and they never did. Of course, not a single one of these officials I have ever seen before in my broadcasting career. So, either way, Barr-Reeve back with the basketball. As Yoder goes to Graber here in the near side corner, he checked in for Boyd. So their original starting five out on the floor as they work it outside the perimeter. Yoder now dribbles right as he goes to Miller, top of the key, and Triton going to get called for a foul. A little bit of a heavy pursuit there by Gage Riffle.
So Riffle's going to pick up his team's first in the second quarter.
And Jason Groves advocates that, hey, if you're going to call that down here, please call it down there as well.
Yep, that's been a little handsy, so I think they're starting to get a little bit tightening it up here.
Two very competitive squads as Yoder crosses the timeline, working to the right wing. He goes back to work on top of the key now to Miller. He uses the screen as he drives left side of the lane, up off the left block, and he is fouled, and the Vikings will make their first trip to the free throw line.
And they're going to call a foul on Patrick, his first, team's second.
So the fouls piling up for Triton here. They didn't really had a clean first quarter, and now Barr-Reeve is going to find their way to the charity stripe.
Yeah, the officials definitely starting to call a little bit tighter here now.
So Miller heads to the line there.
Short there.
About a 63% free throw shooter as he misses his first.
So imagine everybody's shooting free throws out here the first time up here. It's just different.
It's just different. Miller missed the first one. He settles back in as he takes the long stair, pumps with the left arm up, and this time it drops in the bucket. Landon Patrick now bringing up the floor. He'll conduct the offense. A little bit of a broken miscommunication. Now Triton gets set. As the Vikings fall into a 1-3-1 defense, they go into the corner to Riffle. Catch and shoot three. Eye off the rim, no good. It bounces around, and Yoder comes away with the basketball. Yoder pushing it to Graber right here on the left wing. In transition, he puts on the brakes from the corner. Now to Yoder. Yoder on the free throw line. Dribbles to the far side. Now he'll attack from the elbow. Stops, goes out to Graber. Threads the needle. Got Swanson on his feet. Now they'll fit it down in the 90. Banks open. And Graber with the assist.
That's Barr-Reeve's first lead of the game.
So our first lead change since the opening tip. Swanson outside. Looks to go to the corner to Patrick. Pressure's getting sped up, and it's a fight for the basketball. Triton loses it. Landon Patrick wanting a foul call. Loneker goes down into 90, and he'll collide with Jamison Swanson and a foul. Triton starting to kind of fall out of control here on offense and defense. Time to get it settled back in.
So Jamison Swanson's going to pick up his first, team's third.
Now Carson Yoder will trigger the inbound to the left of the basket from his own baseline. Scanning. Now he'll feed to 90. Back into the nearest to the short corner to Yoder. On the left side, he goes to work. Hands it right back off to Miller. Miller on the right wing, picked up by Gage Riffle. Miller leaves it right back into Yoder. They still work. Howington trying to set up the offensive play for his Vikings as Yoder goes back to the logo, works it down into the left elbow now to 90, who rolls to the right side. Hands it to Lonaker. Lonaker outside, or inside the three-point line rather. He drives the side of the lane, spinning into trouble. Off the backboard, no good. It's still free, and Landon Patrick comes away with the rebound. Patrick up the floor, pushes it right to Riffle with the up fake. Transition three, and an out. Rebound there belongs to Yoder. Yoder crosses the timeline as he goes back to work, looking to attack. Wants the feet underneath. He elects to go to the corner there to 90. He gets it right back outside the three-point line. They feed it down into Miller. Miller on the right block. Jamison Swanson pressuring. Yoder tries the dribble drive into the lane, goes up off the window, high off the window and good.
Yeah, he had a nice good look there, knew just how to get that ball up and over the.
And this is a team that really does a nice job attacking the lane as they settle back in their 1-3-1 defense, trying to go back to work on offense. Patrick with the basketball, now leads it to Swanson on the right wing. He'll spot from deep. Swanson stops the run as he ties it at 18 with a deep three.
He just kind of took his time. He almost thought he was just going to fake it a little bit, and he just, nice slow motion right in.
Yoder now exits the timeline as he leaves it for 90 as he goes to the right elbow. He'll leave it for Lonaker. Lonaker stops there inside the three-point line near the free throw line. He'll push it left to the left side here to Yoder. Yoder on the elbow. He looks to attack on the side of the lane. Gets denied. Jamison Swanson denies it. They go out to Graber. Graber, he'll attack the lane, fires a shot, banks open, and he's a guy that gets downhill and is not afraid to use that window.
He's not trying to just get it right in there. He is using that glass to his advantage.
And now the Vikings faithful fired up as they're making their presence known here and the final 30 seconds of this second quarter. Swanson goes out to Landon Patrick here on the near side. Alley-oop to Overmeyer, it's in! What a play, and Overmeyer just hung in the air. Shocker there.
Yeah, he just right up through there, had it spread enough there, and Overmeyer just kind of quick step in, and the ball was right there.
And now the Vikings go to work 10 seconds as they roll right into go time. Jason Gross trying to fire up his defense.
Yeah, he's telling him to get out there.
Lonaker drives up off the window, banks close. Patrick going to fire a half-court heave, and it'll go off the top of the backboard, and we are headed into halftime where we started the ball game, all tied up.
Tied at 20. Yeah, just amazing there to be able to come right back into it. So for team stats there, free throws, Triton got to the line there, shot 2 of 4 at 50%. Barr-Reeve also at 50%, but just 1 of 2 on their two-pointers. 8 of 15 for Barr-Reeve at 53%, but Triton very efficient there, 6 of 8. And behind the arc, neither team's been extremely well. Barr-Reeve's just only 2 attempts, 1 of 2. But Triton's been trying to fire away there, but only got 2 of their 7 to drop. But also Triton, something that actually we've seen, 6 turnovers compared to Barr-Reeve on their 4 turnovers. For Barr-Reeve, Miller, who we never really thought was going to be one of them at the start, is leading them away with 9. Graber with 5, Yoder 4, Neidig 3. The big thing is Loninger has only 1 shot and did not get it to drop in, but he has a single foul along with Boyd. And then Braxton Neidig has 2 fouls, and Carson Yoder has a single foul. For the Trojans, Julian Swanson with 8, Patrick with 4, Overmeyer also with 4, Jamison Swanson 2, Brady Wood rounds out with 2, but Riffle, Wood, Jamison Swanson, and Landon Patrick all have a single foul.
So we talked about how even these two sides are. 2 of my favorite stats, points off turnovers, tied at 4. Yep. Defensive stops, tied at 10. Points per shot, 1.11 up for each side. Triton's a little more efficient, 1.05 on their points per possession. These two sides, like I said, it is, Triton, you want a mirror image? Well, you got the North and the South teams, they look a lot alike.
Yep, they definitely do, and then you're getting here at halftime and definitely right there, definitely tied at, 20. So it's going to be who basically is probably going to get to the end of the game, who's going to have the ball last with the shot that they need.
And we're talking a little bit longer here because it looks like the timeout will wait till that clock starts kind of going down. But, Kenny, you look down at how these two sides are really kind of scoring. You know, like you said, those second chance points, Barr-Reeve making the most of those. Triton 6 points from beyond the arc, so the Trojans really shooting it well from the outside and what they're able to do.
Shooting by period.
No.
Oh, there's our officials.
Oh, there's your officials. Of course, our officials today are Tim Cartwright, Jake Linder, and Paul Beam. Did not see that when we got handed that the first time.
Yep, didn't see that over there. Points, Triton 4 points off of turnovers. They have Barr-Reeve at 1 point off of turnovers.
So, of course, that's Wes's stats, so we like to go
yeah,
off
we
of,
like to go with that guy. We know those.
But you look at that one lead change. Triton with the largest lead. That was at 7 points. That was there early on. But Barr-Reeve, that 12-2 run there in that second quarter has really kind of propelled them back in the conversation. Both fan bases are fired up, and, you know, the energy in here is really good for what you would expect for a state championship.
Yep, and wait till we get started in here as the fans start piling in here for the 2A game. Definitely could. They'll start picking their favorites, who they're going to cheer for. And it'll definitely get loud in here for the second half.
You know, of course, they'll have the Westview Whistler will be in the next game. I mean,
that'll be interesting.
That's a lot of fun. So, but you look at these two sides. I mean, Kenny, there's a lot to talk about here at halftime with Jason Groves and company.
Yep.
I mean, imagine.
I think,
I think both coaches should be pleased with how both their teams are playing here in this first half.
I think Barr-Reeve just that little more of a jitter coming out the start, but once they started clicking and got some baskets going in, definitely different look of a team than that first 2 minutes. Triton, I think Groves will just definitely say, hey, you know, we're okay, and we had a little bit of a spot there. We kind of turned the ball over, caused some fouls, trying to get aggressive, but some of those weren't probably called as tight in that first quarter as they was in the second quarter. So, you know, a little bit of that, we're going to have to watch that. So, you know, they haven't had any foul problems, but definitely just stay focused. 2 more quarters to go.
And these are two sides. We'll talk here for a couple more minutes here. But look, these two sides here, what it travels. Hard work and hustle is one thing that travels. The fundamentals, keep it simple. When you get here, don't try to do too much. Stay within your game plan, and the way these two sides have done that in this first half.
Stay focused. You know, we haven't seen anything Triton has done any different throughout the season. You know, that lob pass, that's not uncommon to see that once or twice in a game throughout the season. So just what the defenders have called. The 3-point shooting, nobody's trying to shoot anything that they haven't really tried. So, Triton's definitely on their normal game plan that they've done all season long.
You know, and watching film with Barr-Reeve, they're doing everything that they're used to doing, and like I said, they're running it well for them. What I like is they didn't panic getting down, and they can on that big run to get themselves back in the ballgame. And, of course, it's tied here, but Triton also responding well. Like I said, it's about who rises and who responds is going to write that final chapter here today.
You know, like I said, we're talking there to the player stats there. You know, Josh Miller, we didn't really, you know, it's not that we didn't overlook him, but it's not.
He does average 8 points a game. He's met that. I mean, Barr-Reeve has got four guys that average double-digit points per game.
Yep. So, but we figured if Triton's going to take care of Loniger, you know, he's definitely going to facilitate somebody else there. So, for like Miller stepping it up and keeping them right here in this game.
So with that being said, we are going to take a quick break here at halftime. Join us for the second half right here on the Triton Trojans Sports Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Some see a student athlete working on his shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance.
We're good at Matt's 1-car, 2-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the 2-car garage/rehearsal space insurance.
Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Some see a student athlete working on his shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to present another Mental Attitude Award winner.
Every year on the final Saturday in February, the IHSAA, the Indiana Pacers, and the Indiana Fever collaborate to host the girls basketball state finals. This gives every student athlete from each team an opportunity of a lifetime. In Class 1A, the Borden Braves go back-to-back, winning their second straight title in a 20-point win over Fremont. The entire Braves roster left Gainbridge Fieldhouse as state champions, but one student athlete received the most distinguished award. I'm Nathaniel Finch, and this is your Class 1A Patricia L. Roy Mental Attitude Award winner.
It means so much. All of these people know what I do, and I try and do the little things, not for my team, but I try to step up when I can, and this is a recognition of what I do, and it just makes me feel so special that I got it.
Senior Emma Hart of Borden, nominated by her principal and head coach for demonstrating excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability during her 4 years of high school. The IHSAA's
All right, welcome back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse as we're almost done with halftime here as the score is tied 20-20. I'm Andy O'Hara. With me here this morning, Kenny Barnhart and the Hall of Famer Orion Limler. Here for the Triton Children's Sports Network for this audio-only broadcast on YouTube for this 1A state championship between the Triton Trojans and the Barr-Reeve Vikings. As we get set, there is a birthday I need to make sure I say happy birthday to as Jackson turns 7 tomorrow.
Yep, you got
He's got friends over for the first time here tonight, so.
Yep, you'll have a great party.
Yep, we'll have a good old time. As Barr-Reeve, they came out on the floor. Triton still taking their time as they get kind of settled in. And of course,
speaking of fans, we got people watching from Italy.
We have people watching from Italy, New Jersey, I believe Tennessee. Take your spot. We're a nation. We are worldwide here today. Stichters are on the coast, and I know a lot in there in Warsaw, an area of friends and family of mine, and I'm sure everybody.
Not sure where Swanson's uncle is watching.
So Orion's watching the chat there, so if you just let us know where you're watching from, we do appreciate everybody watching, and of course our subscribers. We cannot thank you enough for subscribing this season. All those proceeds do go to the equipment and upgrades and help pay for things here for our broadcast. Again, we do appreciate all of your support this season.
Oh, there they coming
so
out.
So the Trojans now take the floor as they get settled back in. Both sides, a lot to talk about. A minute to go here, Kenny.
Yep.
What do you think we're going to see here to start this second half? We had a little quick conversation, but.
Yeah, I think, definitely sometimes you see in the team coming out in halftime, it's not quite the same team both ways, good and bad. So, yeah, it's totally different environment to think about.
It's different. The timing's different. It's not used like since four's all spaced out. It's a lot bigger venue, but to get here, you know the work you had to do. And one thing I said I really appreciate about these two sides is the hustle and hard work is showing. They are staying disciplined in the way they're playing offense and defense. It's going to come down to those final few plays, and it depends on who starts off hot here. I think in this third quarter, like you said, it can determine, but it gets to the fourth quarter, and we're within a 5-point game of one another for either side. It's going to be a dogfight until the final horn sounds.
Yeah, and nobody's really, the three-pointer attempts, we haven't tried a ton of them. I mean, they've gotten some of them, but
either side
that just can't get those to drop. Free throws, they haven't shot a lot, but 50%, but a lot of them are just getting these in the paint points.
And I like that the officials are letting these guys play. They're allowing some physicality, which you want to see two defensive studs as far as in the state of Indiana just battling it out here. It's what you want to see. So for the Trojans out there starting this second half, Landon Patrick, Julian Swanson, Gage Riffle, Jaden Overmeyer, and Brady Wood will be their five. Of course, the starting five for Barr-Reeve. Lonecker will be out there with Graber, Yoder, Miller, and Knighty. As they take the floor, second half, a state champion will be crowned in the next two quarters here for the 1A ball game. Julian Swanson enters the logo as he crosses the timeline. They go back to work. Landon Patrick on the left wing. Looking down for Gage Riffle on the baseline in the short corner. Picked up there by Lonecker. He'll drive the baseline. Stops there, kicks it out to Julian Swanson on the left wing. Swanson spots up, but he elects to go to the corner to Gage Riffle. Riffle on top of the key to Brady Wood. Looking right. Picked up by Graber, goes to Julian Swanson on the right wing. Swanson trying to drive. Fires an elbow jumper. It's good, and Julian Swanson puts the Trojans back on top on the scoreboard.
Like I said, it's always that mid-range jumper. He just likes to pull it in there and get about that free throw and just put it right in.
Landon Patrick applied a little bit of pressure. Just let him know he's out there as Yoder crosses the timeline. Carson Yoder goes to Graber there on the left wing as he looks to try to feed underneath to Miller, but he'll elect to go on top to Lonecker. Lonecker off the screen, hop step in the lane with the runner up and in, and Lonecker gets his first points in the ball game.
Yep, he might be one of them. Haven't done much in that first half. I'm going to help out in the second half.
Patrick in front of the scorer's table, working left, top of the key as he drives. Hands it off to Julian Swanson. Swanson outside on top of the key, retreats back. Looks to Landon Patrick on the left wing. Now to Riffle. Riffle from deep. Off the front iron, short of the mark. Miller gets the rebound, and back go the Vikings. Not in a hurry. They're going to let their offense kind of develop as they cross the timeline. Yoder up out on top of the key. Trying to give him a lot of space out there as Jalen Graber goes out to Miller. Miller drives left side of the lane, goes up strong, and a blocking foul called. And Jason Groves not happy with the call. Riffle tried to get there to draw the charge. It looked like he was in position, but he might have been leaning just a little bit before he drew the charge. I don't know.
It probably went squared up to him.
It looked good. It depends on your angle on the floor, but the officials, they have a job for a reason, and I'm glad it's not us.
Yeah, just trying to watch that there, and Riffle kind of coming in there, but it just couldn't quite tell for sure.
So Josh Miller got to the free throw line one time. He was 1 for 2 on that trip. Just a 60% plus shooter from the free throw line as he pumps that up and in and knocks down he gets 3 points the old-fashioned way. So Patrick brings it up slowly as they go back to work. Yoder's going to greet him as he crosses the timeline. Julian Swanson patrols the baseline as they elect to go back to Swanson now on the right wing. Swanson thinking about the three. Now he'll attack. Good defense being played by Knighty. Patrick, he'll drive the right side of the lane. Gets it knocked away by Miller. The ball's free. Patrick fighting for it, and a foul called underneath on the Vikings.
Might be Yoder. Looks like it.
Looks like great. Yeah, yep. Looks like Yoder got his hand in there. Patrick kind of drove there, got tied up, lost the basketball, went for it there as we're kind of seeing up there on the scores table. They were fighting for it, and he's going to kind of reach in there trying to hang on. They see a little tug on the elbow.
Yep, seen
and
that
that's what the foul is called.
So he's going to pick up his second.
Patrick, a long time, inbounds it out to Julian Swanson, and out beyond the three-point line, he looks to attack. Into the lane, got a man to leave his feet, fadeaway jumper, Magic Swanson hits another one, and he is having a ball game. 12 points, leading all scorers.
Yep, just that definitely got the defender in the air and just spun around behind him and put her right up and in.
Carson Yoder with the basketball up top of the key. Looking right, Now he'll go to Graber. Jalen Graber up on top to Miller. Josh Miller now. He'll attack on the left side of the lane. Kicks it out to Graber. This is where Graber specializes. He'll take out the dribble and he'll attack downhill. He does just that and draws the foul.
Yep. It kind of cleared out that side there. Triton tried to get some people slid over there in front of him. And looks like Julian Swanson. Yep, Julian's going to pick up his first, team's second.
So Jalen Graber makes his way to the free throw line, about a 73% free throw shooter on the season. Is now the first Viking other than Miller to go to the free throw line, and he gets the friendly roll. Jamison Swanson checks in for Gage Riffle. Jason Groves says, don't worry about it. Didn't get that charge, just stay focused. And that's exactly what he said across the way.
Yep.
So Jalen Graber good on the first one, looking for a perfect trip as he fires the second free throw and tickles the twine. And now full court pressure defense being played by the Vikings. Swanson now goes to Brady Wood on the Vikings baseline. Now they're going to skip it across the way as Patrick crosses the timeline. Patrick attacks the lane, feeds it Overmeyer, elevates, knocks it down. And Triton answers right back.
Yep, they kind of, I think they kind of like having that full court because they could get it broken. Once they got a half court, no problem getting it to the basket.
1 point ball game, 5:10 to go here in the third. Vikings on top. Miller up top of the key, going to work. Now he'll drive, stops on the elbow. Here comes Jamison Swanson to help. Yoder thought about it, now retreats outside the three-point line as he goes to Graber. Down into 90. 90 on the left, battling in, but he went to spin, expecting someone to be there. No one was there, traveled as he was kicking it away.
Yep, his feet kind of lost his step there, and as he was turning, kind of turned the wrong way in a sense, and had that turnover.
They showed the Jaden Overmeyer that last basket. That kid just glides in the air. Patrick crosses the timeline, works it left to Overmeyer on the elbow. Overmeyer on the left side elbow, now goes right, gets it knocked away there by Josh Miller. 90 in transition, 1-on-3 fast break, puts on the brakes, kicks it outside, Triton wanting a travel call. Yoder now goes to the corner, Graber fires a three, can't knock it down, Overmeyer elevates and brings down the defensive board. And now Julian Swanson brings it up for the Trojans. As he goes to work, and he'll spot for three in transition, eye off the rim, no good. Josh Miller with the rebound. Carson Yoder now pushing it right. He's going to go up to 90. 90 backing down, stops on the baseline, goes out to Yoder. Now one more pass. Josh Miller fires a three. Can't knock it down. Patrick with the rebound. Triton in transition. Patrick accelerating down the floor. Goes to Jameson Swanson. Left side three. In and out. Rebound again to Josh Miller. And Josh Miller picks up his sixth rebound of the ball game, leading everybody in that department.
Yeah, both teams kind of back and forth here really quick, kind of trying to get a little bit of fast break going, and didn't get too much accomplished.
Yoder outside, Graber trying to fight for position as they go on top to Loneker. Loneker drives, stops on the left block, stop and go, attacks the rim, goes up and gets the roll, and Vikings back up by 3. Patrick now back at the floor. Quick check with the coaches, and now they set the offense in motion. Swanson up top of the key. Goes to Jamison. Jamison now. He works it back left. Goes to Brady Wood. Brady outside the three-point line now. We'll work it back as he works on top of the key. Leaves it for Patrick on the right wing. Up on top, he goes to Swanson. Now he'll attack the left side. Feed an extra pass to Overmeyer. Banks open.
Yeah, definitely drew everybody there and get it right open.
I can tell his family across the way like that one. So inside 3 minutes as the Vikings go back to work. Loneker outside the three-point line leads it to Miller. Spins into the lane and gets tied up, and a foul is called. It looked like Triton might have got a hand on the ball there, but the officials see that maybe the body a little too much contact on the drive.
Because he had his hand kind of on the ball, but I don't know whether the arm kind of got his shoulder as he went up.
Patrick, a quick conference with Jason Groves as Josh Miller back to the line for the third time today as he is 2 of 3. Converting an and one opportunity the last time out off the front iron on his first attempt on this series. Boyd now checks in the ball game as he will check in for Carson Yoder. So the rest of the guys out there on the line, Loneker out there with Braxton 90, Jalen Graber, and Josh Miller, the rest of the 5 for the Vikings here with 2:51 to go in this third quarter. Missing in the first one, and the second one he corrects and knocks it down for Josh Miller, and a under 4 timeout for the media here in this third quarter. Of course, Derby for a Difference is coming up for Triton here.
Yes.
It'll be on April 4th for that, and a lot of good things going there for the Triton Student Life Foundation. If you go back to one of our broadcasts with Jeremy Riffle, a lot of good information there, and a lot of those proceeds do go to what these Triton what Triton is able to do for these kids.
Kind of say behind the scenes type of stuff, a lot of stuff, little costs here and there that just don't think about for some of the students, that transportation or just uniforms or just any little thing, that some of that stuff is just hard to classify, but it's still necessary cost, so it kind of helps some of that, takes care of that.
As a Triton parent, I have a special needs child, and what that money does is help her be able to enjoy what school is really like, and what it gives kids like that, any one of these kids, a chance to do something that otherwise they may not be able to do.
Yeah, it's just, some of the costs you just don't think about, and you can't just line item or get them in there, so it's just something that kind of for the community to help take care of the student's life at Triton.
Of course, I would be getting in the doghouse if I didn't give Danny a shout out.
Yep.
Never misses one of our games. Doesn't matter if she's in the hospital or not. She never misses a TTSN broadcast.
Yep, she was definitely there, being listening and getting her shout out.
So as we get settled in here at this media timeout, it's kind of what we kind of saw. I mean, was it going to be someone going to kind of pull away here in this third quarter, or was somebody going to find a way, or is there going to be a battle? And we got that. We got just that.
Got a little bit of a pull away, but yet coming right back in here, and just definitely a defensive battle, but then getting some of those shots going in. So that's a big change for everybody.
So you look down there, as you look at as far as the lead changes, you got 3 different lead changes, been tied 3 times. Triton has held the lead longer, but that goes back to that first quarter where they went on that huge run. Yeah,
getting it starting up there, but then until Barr-Reeve come back into it then. But yeah, most of the points there,
like I said,
22 points in the paint for Barr-Reeve, 16 points for Triton. So that three-pointer side of it, just not getting a lot of it to go. Second chance points, Barr-Reeve had 4, Triton's 2, and Triton's had a couple fast point breaks, but.
And that's just a mark of 2 great coaching staffs and how they've molded these boys here today and what they're able to do out here on the floor. They're finding ways to do what they do best, the bread and butter. How's it going to work? Can you answer? Don't let the moment get too big. Keep it simple and go out and execute. So Triton back with the basketball is Julian Swanson to bring it up the floor. Pressure has been backed off as he will cross the half-court line untouched. Now he works top of the key, goes to Brady Wood on the left elbow on the free throw line. Overmeyer untouched underneath. Brady buckets with the assist. And Triton ties it at 30.
Yeah, they just kind of cleared out, and Overmeyer just kind of spun right up the lane, and Brady seen him go and passed it right to him.
Boyd speeds it up, goes to Graber. Graber spins into the lane, trying to harass the ball handler as they go out to Boyd. Stops on the right elbow, and now he works to the corner. Boyd now sizing up Jamison Swanson. He attacks in the lane, kicks it outside to Miller. Now the offense resets. Loneker outside with 2:10 to go in the third. Three-pointer away for Boyd. High off the rim, no good. Rebound there belongs to Josh Miller. Miller falls to the floor, and a foul is called. And they're going to call reach-in fouls. Julian Swanson pleading his case. And the Triton fan base expresses their displeasure with the official's call. Well, hey, it depends on what side you're on.
Yep. Julian picked up his second, but also team's fourth.
If you're wearing black and white out there on the floor, you're not everybody's favorite person. It's a tough spot to be in. Got to have thick skin. Loneker, left wing 3, short of the mark. Jamison Swanson with the rebound, hands it to his brother Julian, and back go the Trojans. Swanson crosses the timeline. Outside the three-point line, he goes to work. Now leads it to Landon Patrick. Triton sitting things up. Jamison Swanson spreads out there to the right side. Patrick with the basketball standing on the logo.
Yep, Grove's definitely pointing different things out.
Patrick falls to the floor but keeps his dribble. But here comes Graber. Jalen Graber down the floor. Transition basket is good. And the Vikings back out in front.
He kind of did what Patrick would do, just not thinking somebody's coming around behind, just reached in, tapped it away, and went down for that layup.
Swanson now on the elbow. Kicks it out to Jamison. Swanson on the 3. Can't knock it down, and rebound there to Nighty on the right block, and back go the Vikings in transition. Boyd crosses the timeline. Howington calling out the offensive set. Triton stays in a man look on defense. Boyd looking right now, feeds it down into Nighty in the short quarter. Now he's inside the right wing. Stops, kicks it out to Boyd. Boyd fires a 3 to extend it. Knocks it down. And the Vikings now back up by 5. Patrick across the timeline. The Triton faithful trying to fire up their team wearing white out there on the floor today. The blue and gold faithful trying to get something, and Jason Rose is going to take a 30-second timeout to refocus in his group because the Vikings have awoken behind us. They're sitting up back to our behind us and to the right.
Yeah, they're Triton coming out there, and they threw that just kind of off a little bit, and Barr-Reeve getting a trap kind of in the corner there and under the minute here. So Grove's definitely getting something put up here for try to get a score here at the end of this third quarter.
You know, and Jason Grove's known extremely well for hanging on to those timeouts, has used them here thus far too in this ball game. Barr-Reeve with only one timeout used. That was a 30-second, so a lot of full timeouts remaining. But for these guys, the Trojan faithful trying to fire up their group here today. I mean, it comes down Barr-Reeve right now taking control of this game, but Triton needs to find a way to respond here out of this timeout.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting something going. Three-pointers, you've gotten to try to get a couple more of those to drop. Just can't get them to go in, but they've been able to clear that lane out and get some of those lobs. And that good play there last time with Wood to Overmeyer just cleared it out and passed it right to him and let him practically do a layup.
So Triton's entire starting five still out there with Patrick Swanson, Julian Swanson, Jaden Overmeyer, Gage Riffle, and Brady Wood, as Brady Wood will inbound in front of the score table. And now the Trojan faithful trying to fire up their team with the basketball as Triton now takes it up. Landon Patrick across the timeline with 42 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Patrick now just rocking it out near the half-court line as both sides take a breath. Howington talking to his defense, not saying no back cuts. Triton does a good job moving off the ball. Not a lot of screens being set here by the Vikings. Really, Triton has done a good job defensively, but now needing an offensive basket to carry some momentum into that fourth quarter. Patrick still rocking it to sleep near the half-court line. Jason Gross say, just take your time. 10 seconds, Kenny.
Yep, it's go time here. Gross, tell him to go.
Riffle gets it to Swanson, top of the key. Now he attacks. Pull up mid-range jumper, short of the mark. Overmeyer collects the rebound, but it goes out of bounds with 1 second even on the clock. Vikings have the basketball. So they got enough time. They can attempt a shot. 0.4 seconds is only allowed with the tip. Graber feeds it to Loneker.
Nope.
He fires it down the floor, straight enough but not deep enough. And that takes them to the fourth quarter where the Vikings lead 35-30.
So, yeah, and that 5 point there, 15 points put up for the Vikings here in this third quarter. Triton just 10. So, other than Barr-Reeve there with 6 points, they've been double digits here all throughout. And Triton, of course, 9 points in their second quarter, but 10 and 11 respectively for the first and third.
Again, want to appreciate everybody listening to us here this morning for this 1A state championship. And again, I appreciate everybody's support throughout the season, not just boys basketball, girls basketball, but everything that we have covered all the way down into the elementary level. And I want to thank Orion for covering a lot of those games because it takes up a lot of time, and him and Caden have done a lot of hours this season.
That's a lot of a lot of those games definitely for all those elementary games and junior high games that boys and girls.
And Drew Bingaman in a shooting contest out here. He's all the way to half court. He's trying to knock one down. He's leading Barr-Reeve off the window, but Triton Senior trying to find it to bank in off the rim. He'll try another one. He's close. Oh, there it is.
Got one in.
And Bingaman hits it from half court, and he wins the between school shootout. So Triton star pitcher, check him out during baseball. This kid throws a mean one. Very good batter as well as he heads into his senior season. Of course, Triton baseball, Ryan's going to be a 2-week breather, maybe a week-long breather, and it's baseball season right out of the gate.
I think they have one on. Well, I don't know if they'll have it, but I think on Friday they're supposed to play somebody.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
It's kind of one of those things for kind of following IU football, longer season than anticipated. So for the boys basketball for Triton, a lot longer than we anticipated.
But you will never hear me complain about how long a season like this goes. Getting this opportunity here today to call a game in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, I know for our crew, it's a big deal. And Orion's got it pulled up.
Yep, they're going to host Central Noble next Saturday, it looks like.
Of course, girls softball, they'll be getting under the way here for too long as well, which that's okay if you don't have it pulled up. But either way, spring sports is right around the corner, so if we don't cover that, come out and watch the Trojans compete in everything that they do.
And we don't do track because that's...
We do not. You talk about a logistical nightmare.
That's absolutely nightmare.
No, I'm not even looking right. This says they're at Hebron on Monday.
Well,
so they're ready to roll into it.
Well, we'll find out how this all works. But either way, out of this quarter, Kenny, it's going to come down. Triton needs to find a way to answer it. It's not time to panic. Go run your offense. Keep it simple. Work the Vikings defense and try to get some points on the board and answer back. But defensively, it's time to stand tall.
Yeah, they got to just come back in here, It's 5 points. That's quite a bit here, but, try to get a little bit closer here. Just get started, so don't let it get too far away from you.
So the Vikings will start with the basketball of Loneker. Boyd, Graber, Miller, and Knighty will be out there. Triton with their 5. Is their normal starting 5 of Riffle, Patrick, Julian Swanson, Jaden Overmeyer, and Brady Wood is the ball top of the key. Knighty works it left to Boyd on the left wing. Final corner. A state champion will be crowned moment in here in just a little bit, and the ball goes. Triton thought they threw it out of bounds, but the Trojans touched it last on the baseline. It'll stay with the Vikings as Boyd will set the play in motion underneath. Hard to believe this game feels like it's just flown by. Knighty outside the three-point line, hands it to Boyd on the left wing. He drives, kicks it back. Loneker outside the line, picked up by Patrick, not giving him any room to breathe. Loneker drives the lane, stops on the left block, swings it outside to Miller. Miller outside the three-point line. He'll attack from the elbow, leaves it to Graber. One more pass, Boyd with the up fake. He drives the lane, puts on the brakes, fires a shot, and knocks it down from the left block. And the Vikings faithful fired up after that one. And the Vikings with a 7-point advantage. Triton needing an answer. Jason Gross telling him to go right into it.
Yep, don't kill a lot of time. Just start getting right into it.
Riffle outside the three-point line with the up fake. Now he'll attack the lane. Feeds it down to Overmeyer. Elevates and gets brought down, but jump ball is the call, and Triton will hang on to it. Good defense there as Knighty kind of got in there, got a hand on the ball, and just pushed it right back down.
Yeah, Overmeyer just held it in his hands, and, just get enough there that they had to be a jump ball call on that one.
Good defense by the Vikings as Riffle triggers the inbound. Goes to Jaden Overmeyer. Overmeyer trying to fight in the baseline, gets stopped on the right block. Out to Riffle. Triton needing an answer on this possession. Overmeyer on the right wing, back to Riffle. Now to Patrick, top of the key. Patrick goes to work. Feeds it to Brady Wood on the left wing. Brady Wood now goes to Jaden Overmeyer. Overmeyer down into Riffle, underneath. Riffle untouched, reverse land is no good. Rebound Josh Miller, and back go the Vikings.
Yeah, Riffle tried to do that reverse layup just far enough underneath there in the basket and in the road. But that was the only way he was going to get a shot off.
Boyd now with the basketball up on top to Graber. Graber to Boyd on the right wing. Waiting for Loneker on the right side. Now picked up by Patrick. He works outside the three-point line and retreats back to the half court. Now he'll attack the middle of the lane, puts on the brakes, kicks it out. Josh Miller on the left wing. Here comes Brady Wood on the defensive side pursuit. Loneker on the far side corner goes up on top to Boyd. Picked up by Gage Riffle. Graber cuts the middle, but Boyd elects to hang on to on the left side. Long possession here. Triton needing a stop.
Yeah, I say Barr-Reeve's probably going to just kill a little bit more time here since they're scoring, don't really have to score.
Trying to maybe bait Triton into a foul. Josh Miller drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Graber outside the three-point line, picked up by Julian Swanson. Graber drives the lane, puts on the brakes, kicks it out. Boyd by himself, three-pointer, knocks it down, and the largest lead of the ball game is 10, and it belongs to Barr-Reeve. Patrick crosses the timeline looking to attack, and Jason Groves takes a full timeout. He has 2 timeouts remaining, but now Gainbridge belongs to the Vikings as they have taken over the noise control in this field house here today.
Yeah, I got they're shooting their 3 of 8 on their three-pointers there, and a couple of those just big ones just to help get them stretched across there. Triton's just been getting some spots underneath, but just got a couple spots, but just cannot get it to roll in here after some of those earlier games. Shots going in earlier in the game.
For both sides here, Barr-Reeve, keep doing what you're doing. Use the clock. Bait Triton into foul and get yourself to the free throw line. A team that shoots pretty well from the free throw line. I mean, they're 67%, but they get there. They've made their free throws here today, 5 of 7. But if you're Triton and Jason Groves, it's time to find a way to put on the brakes, go back to what we need to do, create chaos.
Yep.
We got fouls. If we get them to the line, that extends the game. But you've got to find a way to get a stop and find a way to get this offense in gear.
Yeah, they definitely got to get in there. And they've been trying to swarm a little bit there when Barr-Reeve's been getting the ball inside the paint there, just trying to swarm and getting a hold of it, but just haven't been able to get it knocked away and get it down the court.
So out of the timeout, the 2 sides get their final warning. This full timeout. Triton has 2 timeouts remaining. The Vikings remain with 4, 3 full timeouts and a 30.
And we'll have a media timeout here in about a minute and a half or so.
The under 4 media timeout. But the Trojans, it's like I like to say when whoever team is down by however many points, it's like eating an elephant.
Yep.
It's one bite at a time. You can climb the mountain one step at a time. Don't try to get ahead of yourself and do too much. Stay disciplined. Go back and do your job.
Yeah, Triton definitely need to get some points on this possession just to get that momentum switched a little bit here.
So they're waiting over there at the scores table to send the okay. Must be a media timeout as well.
He's got his hand up over there.
But, after this, we'll see the two sides of showing Barr-Reeve back when they were here back in 2021 when they played Couts.
Yep. Another team that was definitely really favored to come down here.
Yep. Of course, they show the Vikings winning that last title. Of course, they won their first ever in 2015. Trying to look for their third in much time. Patrick receives the inbound. Triton going back to work with 5:30 to go in the ball game. Broken play. Patrick lost his dribble now outside the line. Goes to Jaden Overmeyer. Handing it to Julian Swanson, top of the key. A lot of men to leave his feet. Jumper does not catch the mark. Doesn't hit the rim. The air ball goes out, and it's a turnover. And back with the Vikings. Jason Gross say, nope, we're turning the pressure up, guys. Time to create some chaos.
Yep, that's right here in Patrick's wheelhouse. He's just going to come right down here and pick them right up just as soon as they get inbounded.
Jalen Graber now picked up by Julian Swanson, splits the defenders. Retreats to the right wing, goes to the corner now to Josh Miller. Miller tries to throw it away, but Triton takes it away as Overmeyer comes away with the basketball. Now Gage Riffle will bring it up the floor. He crossed the timelines. He pushes it to Julian Swanson on the near side. Swanson drives the lane on the left side, gets it ripped away by Lonecker, and it'll stay right there for the Trojans. They will go to inbound. Carson Yoder back in the ball game for the Vikings, and that will take out Boyd. So both teams starting fives out there on the floor. Of course, Boyd coming off the floor, hitting a pair of big shots for his team.
Yep, with 8 points for him.
Riffle, corner three. Can't knock it down. Lonecker with the rebound, and the Vikings back the other way. Lonecker attacks coast to coast, and a charge called as Jaden Overmeyer was planted just about as good as
he was just
kind of
standing there.
On.
I don't think he even was realized. I think he just stood there and ran right into him.
Sometimes what are you going to do? You're going to absorb the power, or are you going to commit a foul? But Jaden Overmeyer fights it, but he gets it on the right wing, Triton back to work in the half court. Overmeyer hands it off to Julian Swanson, fires a three, off the rim, no good, high off the backboard. And Knighty gets the rebound, and here back go the Vikings.
Yeah, Triton just cannot get another three to drop, had them earlier.
The Vikings +5 in the rebound department as they go down to Knighty, got Overmeyer to leave his feet, and a foul is called. And Knighty heads to the line.
So Overmeyer's going to pick up his team's first in this fourth quarter.
So Braxton Knighty settles in.
Has not been there this morning.
Man, it's not his favorite place to be. Sub 50% free throw shooter, but he tickles the twine on the first. Knighty again, 1 for 2 on that trip as Riffle gets the rebound and goes to Julian Swanson. Swanson to Patrick. Triton needs to get going as we hit the half court, or at the halfway point here in this fourth quarter. I'm getting tongue-tied. Patrick drives the right side of the lane, kicks it out to Julian Swanson. He tries to drive, retreats back, attacks from the right elbow, puts on the brakes, fadeaway jumper, up and in.
Yep, just what he loves to do. Just put that defender to go towards the baseline, back up just a little bit, and pop that mid-range.
Jason Gross telling him to pressure the basketball as Carson Yoder trying to dial up Gage Riffle. Riffle tracking him down, staying with him. Yoder now outside the three-point line, looking to go somewhere with the basketball, and a timeout for the Vikings. That'll be their second timeout. We'll see what it is. And it's going to be looks to be a full timeout.
It'll be the media.
And a media, so it'll be a full timeout either way. But either way, Triton, if you're here, you're down by, 9 points. You cannot go back-to-back and fight. I mean, blow for blow here. It's got to be to find a way to make a stop and land another punch.
Yeah, they got down there. They did get the ball taken away there. Come down here for Triton. Triton got the ball taken, or got it down here to try to score, but just could not get anything to come out of it there. But definitely going to have to keep this pressure up, watch a little bit of fouls, but yet you're going to have to be a little aggressive to try to get a defensive stop and come down here.
Well, Triton, both sides, you look at the turnover battle, it's what? 15 turnovers combined between the two sides, 8 for Triton, 7 for them. It's 16. It's all kind of confused there. But you look at these two sides, not turning the basketball over, it's going to come down to how bad do you want it. You can't get here. you can't play scared, but right now the Vikings 10 points off of turnovers to Triton's 5, but the Vikings 29 points put up combined between that second and third quarter and 19 for the Trojans. They've got to find a way to erase this deficit. Time is running out.
Yeah, they're kind of used to that 3, and we knew that 3 balls down here is going to be a little bit different here. But, you know, we've seen that there last week, kind of down here, and all of a sudden got a 3 or 2 to drop in, and then just change that ball game around.
So out of this timeout, of course, it is a media timeout. Again, I want to thank everybody watching here or listening here today. 429 listening to today's broadcast for the Triton Trojan Sports Network or here on YouTube here today. And again, we want to thank everybody's support as they've supported all season for all of our broadcasts.
Yep, and we don't normally it would be our third to fourth quarter we do our schedule, but this is it.
Well, guess what, Kenny? After this, there is no more games.
Yep, no more games to worry about here for basketball.
As you look down there as the two sides, the horn blows as they get ready to take the floor. Both sides, you had the starting 5 out there originally for both sides is Landon Patrick, Julian Swanson, Jaden Overmeyer, Gage Riffle, and Brady Wood. The 5 for Triton. Loneker. Boyd is out there in the ball game for Carson Yoder. Graber, Braxton Knighty, and Josh Miller rounding out the 5 here. As Barr-Reeve will inbound the basketball in front of the table, scorer's table, as they go to Loneker in the backcourt. Patrick picks him up at half court. Needing to pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Loneker outside the three-point line, leads it to Josh Miller, picked up by Brady Wood. Miller drives all the way around, goes up and in off the window from the left side.
Yep,
2-point basket's good.
That's what he's been great at doing, is just kicking around that left side and going right up to the basket.
Leads back to double digits. Patrick goes in the corner to Julian Swanson. Swanson trying to drive, got it ripped away from behind, lost the basketball, and it'll stay right here with the Trojans.
Yeah, he had a good look there if he could have kept it on.
Now you're kind of waiting for that other Triton player as Carson Yoder checks in for Boyd. Who's going to step up and start scoring some points? There's a lot of zeros up there, but how bad do you want it? Who can step up here? And Brady Wood could be that catalyst for this Triton team. As Brady Wood gets the rebound, gets it poked away, and it'll stay right here. Barr-Reeve fans not happy.
Yeah, I think they thought Patrick, but I don't think Patrick was – he was the one to inbound it, or Wood, I guess, inbounded it, and had to watch where he was stepping to make sure he didn't touch the ball.
Swanson outside the three-point line, drives the lane with the floater, hits the side of the backboard, no good. Rebound, Loneker as he pushes it in transition. Now to Carson Yoder. Swings it to the far side corner to Graber. Graber outside the line, kicks it out to Josh Miller. Now on top of the key, he goes to Carson Yoder. The Vikings fans trying to fire up their team. Yoder leaves it for Loneker. Outside near half court as he goes to Josh Miller from the scorer's table. Then Brady Wood with the on-ball steal. 2-on-3, fast break. Brady Wood takes it himself, and a foul is called. The officials talk it over. I don't know, they may call an offensive foul. I think that's where the conversation is. Brady Wood kind of led. The sides were battling. And they're going to call a intentional foul.
Oh.
So Brady Wood was driving. The sides were battling, so it was not offensive foul. So Brady Wood will head to the line for 2 free throws. I looked at I didn't think it was anything for an intentional foul.
Oh, he pushed
I think
him.
Miller kind of pushed off, so that's where the foul is. So Josh Miller called for the foul. So Brady Wood, 2 big free throws. Cannot get the roll. Rolls out left off the rim. So they're going to let Jason Gross be able to talk to his team, trying to hurry him up, get over here and talk. Brady Wood knocks it down on the second one. 10-point ball game as Boyd checks back in, and out goes Carson Yoder. I'm trying to wait because it looked like Miller was going to go out. So Boyd back in the game. He's done a nice job being a catalyst for this Vikings team here today. So Patrick will inbound from his own baseline. Triton went 1 of 2 on that trip to the free throw line. Patrick looking to inbound. Nothing there underneath. Now he goes outside to Julian Swanson beyond the three-point line. He drives from the right wing, goes up with the left hand, and short of the mark. He was a little too far forward, and a foul is called on the Trojans. A push as Josh Miller got the rebound.
So Jaden Overmeyer is going to pick up his team's second.
Carson Yoder back in the game. Now Josh Miller comes off the floor. Jalen Graber to inbound, trying to put on the pressure in the full court. Graber scanning, waiting for Carson Yoder, finds him just outside the baseline. And Griffel trying to guard him as he goes behind the back dribble, attacks up the half-court line, and a foul is called. He got kind of an inside Riffel's hips there and kind of used that momentum to draw the foul.
So Riffel's going to pick up his third, team's third.
Graber triggers the inbound from his own sideline as he goes out to Yoder. Picked up by Riffle. Riffle trying to knock it free. Goes out to Boyd, 2:15 and counting. Trying to find a way to pressure the basketball. Vikings want a foul call.
Yeah, they're
going to spread it out.
Yep, and trying to do everything, even if it's going to be a foul. They're going to try to knock that ball away. Got to go for broke.
Goes out for Yoder. Picked up by Riffle out near the half court as he pushes it to the near side to Graber. Swanson picking him up, trying to knock the ball free. Graber regains control. Now he tries to drive. The two sides trying to hand fight out here now. Loneker out near the half-court line on the logo. Picked up by Patrick, trying to fight for the basketball. Minute 45 to go. The Vikings in the driver's seat. Riffle picking up Yoder, and a foul is called.
And Riffle, I believe, is going to pick up his fourth.
25 feet away from the basket.
And that's team's fourth. Yeah, doing everything he can, try to get a hand on the ball, try to knock it away.
The Trojans have a steep hill to climb, but the Vikings, like I said, they're driving the car right now. Jace goes trying to turn up the pressure. Yoder stops in, kicks it back out. They look to spread things out and burn the clock. Bradywood trying to knock it free, and then a foul is called. As Boyd was driving to the basket on the left side.
Yep, and Brady's going to pick up his third, and that's the fifth team foul. So Barr-Reeve gets to go for the bonus for the rest of this minute 29.
Boyd back up there again, 73% free throw shooter coming into today, was 8 of 11 on the season from the free throw line. Spreads as he fires his shot and knocks it down. The Vikings hitting their free throws, 7 of 10.
Yep, they were an excellent free throw shooting team.
Boyd now settles in, made the first, second on the way, drops in the bucket. And Jamison Swanson, the spark plug, trying to find if he can fire up this Trojan team. Out on the floor as he checks in for Jaden Overmeyer. The small ball of this Ferrari lineup, if you will, for Jason Groves. He'll look to go with speed as time is running out. Patrick lets the ball dribble as far as he can as he crosses the timeline in a hurry. Hands it off to Riffle. Riffle goes to Julian Swanson. Julian Swanson puts on the break, stop and goes. Mid-range jumper, high arcing shot, knocks it down. And Jason Groves takes a timeout with a minute 20 to go. It'll be a full timeout. He will have one timeout remaining. But if you're Triton here, it doesn't have to be all threes, but you have got to be perfect the rest of the way out.
10 points. I've seen quarterback in 26 years ago. Team down by 9 with about a minute to go and went to overtime and won it.
Well, if you want to go to the professional level, I'm sure that's been done here a few times.
Well, the girls.
The girls.
The girls' first time winning was down by about 9 with about a minute to go and turned around and some big threes.
Well, if you want to go even further, like I said, go back to the 90s. Reggie Miller. 9 points or 8 points in 9 seconds or however it was. 2 big threes and a point. I mean, it's doable. But like I said, it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time, but you can't take too long to chew on these bites.
No, you just got to, like right now, you got to get an inbound steal, try to get some points here right away before Barr-Reeve even gets across the half court, and then hopefully he can get the ball again here shortly after that then. But, yeah, it's going to be a tall tale here. Not sure what we're
well, they probably went to media timeout here. It's just a little bit different. Like I said, the timeouts are a little bit longer. So as they get things settled, Barr-Reeve has done a nice job. They got the lead. They're spreading things out. They're trying to burn that clock and kind of work the basketball. They're doing everything right here right now with the team that knows how to play with the lead. They're 27-1 for a reason. Triton's 25-3 for a reason. You don't get here today by accident, and that's where Triton now needs to believe we got here. We need to do what we've done to find ourselves back in this ballgame. It's a team that, regionals went blow for blow with Marquette Catholic, and it came down to a left-handed layup to win a ball game. To do this is not unheard of, but hey, You don't have to win here in 4 quarters. Guess what? There's a thing called overtime if the Trojans want to get there.
Yep, got to get 10 points here pretty quick for minute 20.
Yep, so this is minute 20 to go, so 12 seconds. Of course, the score, our OCR, is kind of fighting with it. But either way, Jalen Graber will inbound for the Vikings. They have to go the full length of the floor, Triton to pressure in the full court. He has the baseline as he now goes to Loneker. Loneker near the Triton baseline, skips it to the near side to Graber, who pushes it up to the middle. The Vikings break the press just fine, but Triton will foul, and they'll send him to the line, and Boyd goes back to where he was just at a few moments ago.
So Julian Swanson's going to pick up his third.
Now Gage Riffle looks to check in. We'll see who Riffle checks in here for. Boyd knocks it down. As they look to get settled in, Boyd making the first. Overmeyer comes off the floor, so the Ferrari lineup back out there for the Trojans. Boyd again. Cannot get the roll. Riffle with the rebound. Now pushes it to Patrick. Triton in a hurry. Patrick up the floor, stops, goes to Julian Swanson. Swanson dials a deep three. Off the rim, no good, and Graber lets it fall into the Triton bench. And back go the Vikings as Josh Miller. Oh, they thought they were going to bring him in. Now Jaden Overmeyer back in for Gage Riffle. Yep, that's right. Overmeyer's back in.
Yep.
Graber now inbounds from the death corner. Up to Loneker. He drives the left side and bank is open. Patrick trying to set his offense in a hurry. Inside a minute to go. A state champion will be crowned momentarily. Patrick, top of the key, trying to drive. Attacks, pirouettes his way to the basket, up and in. Now goes to Yoder, tipped there by Jamison Swanson, but the Vikings back up 2-on-1, and they retreat back to burn some clock. Graber now with it, and Patrick will foul as they send Jalen Graber to the line with 37 seconds and counting to go.
Patrick picked up his second.
So Graber back to the line for 2 as he settles in. Giving the team about 70% from the line today, and he knocks the first one down. Team now 10 of 14, and Graber is perfect on the day. And here come the Triton JV players as these seniors will come off the floor for the final time. But Julian Swanson, Landon Patrick, and Jaden Overmeyer, Isaac Quintana, Gage Riffle. The legacy they leave behind, they took a team that was not predicted to be here, and they found their way to Indianapolis. As on the floor now, Blaze Hensley, Levi McFarland, Jaden Arnett, Colton Large, and Max Johnson out on the floor for the Trojans as the Vikings look to win their 3rd state championship, the first one back in 5 years. Graber gets the roll, and here comes the substitutes. Wrigley Wirtz will check in wearing number 12. Also checking in number 20, Brendan Cornelius. Number 23 checking in, and Miller Thompson. Number 30, and Easton Graber. I think that's everybody.
Missed one.
Missed one. Number 5, Caleb Moffitt.
There we go.
So Levi McFarland hands it to Jaden Arnett. Now to Blaze Hensley. Blaze outside the three-point line goes to Max Johnson. Levi McFarland in the corner. Now goes to Colton Large, top of the key to Blaze Hensley with the up fake straight away. He fires a 3. Can't knock it down, and it goes out of bounds. 21 seconds to go. And the Vikings are going to pick it up here. But if you're the Triton Trojans, you have nothing to hang your head on today. You got here. You got a ring. A banner will hang in the trench forever. You made it to Indianapolis.
Yep, definitely got down here.
You didn't get here just by sleepwalking your way through. I know emotions are high, and it's sad if you're a Trojan fan. It's exciting if you're a Vikings fan. But either way, the Barr-Reeve Vikings will win the 2026 1A state championship. And for the Trojans, they will head back to Bourbon. Yes, they may not be with the state championship trophy, but with pride, finding your way here today. And congratulations to the Vikings on their state championship.
So they do have that Tresher Award yet to give.
Yep, so we'll wait for that just momentarily. So 2 sides shaking hands.
I thought I had something more on that.
He looks down through it there as they two sides take the floor as they will award the trophies here today for the state runner-up and the state champion here in this ball game. It's a big moment. Bright lights, but both sides competed well. Yeah,
Yep.
you got to give a lot of credit to Barr-Reeve. They found a way to pull away there.
Yeah,
44 points put in since the second quarter, and Triton only could answer with 26 of their own.
Just could not get anything to drop there in that fourth quarter. Just got 7 points.
But again, congratulations to both teams. Can we turn it to the shotgun mic?
That made you want to be a part of it.
This place just eats, sleeps, and breathes Barr-Reeve basketball. I think the whole town of Montgomery is in Gainbridge Fieldhouse today.
You're fighting your emotions a little bit, but I know several times during the game you told your team, smile, have fun. When did your team take control of this game, and how did they do that there in the fourth quarter?
To start with belief. We told them to smile, relax. You're playing the greatest game in the world, in the greatest state in the world, on the biggest stage in Indiana. And want to credit Triton, just an unbelievable basketball team, so well coached. A lot of praise.
You held that team to 37 points. That's pretty good defense, isn't it?
Two really good teams going at it. That's exactly what you would expect for a state championship, and just so much respect for them and the season they've had and the way they do it.
Your family's on a cruise that you missed. Instead, you cruise to a state championship. How's that feel? They made it back.
They can go on their vacation. This is my kind of vacation.
A third state championship for Barr-Reeve. What an incredible program. Coach, congratulations. And maybe we'll see you next year. You got a very young team here.
We're going to enjoy this one. God bless the Vikings.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court. Presenting the Ray Craft Medal Attitude Award on behalf of the IHSAA Executive Committee, please welcome from Lenton Stockton, Mr. Tim Grove.
We would like to welcome Matt Albrecht, Chief Financial Officer of Pacer Sports and Entertainment, to assist with the presentation of the 2026 Ray Craft Middle Attitude Award for Class 1A Boys Basketball. In addition to the award, the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, presenting sponsors of the IHSAA Boys Basketball State Tournament, will award a $1,000 scholarship to the winner's school. On behalf of the IHSAA, please join us in saying thank you to the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever for their generous support of student athletes and high school basketball in the great state of Indiana. The recipient of this award was selected by the IHSAA Executive Committee. This student was nominated by his athletic director, principal, and coach, and excelled in middle attitude, athletic ability, scholarship, and leadership. The winner of the 2026 Ray Craft Middle Attitude Award for Class 1A Boys Basketball is Corbin Boyd of Barr-Reeve High School.
good. How are you?
So as they continue to present awards, we have people to close there as for the Vikings, Corbin Boyd winning the Mental Attitude Award here today for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. As Kenny, let's go ahead and go with our stats. As we've got some conversations going on near our one mic, so we cannot play what's going on the PA right now.
So for Triton, their free throws just 3 of 6, 50%. Barr-Reeve 11 of 15. 2-pointers 14 of 21 for the Trojans, 15 of 23 for Barr-Reeve. 3-pointers, Triton just those 2 of 15, and those 2 were just in that first half, and where Barr-Reeve finally got some of theirs to drop at 3 of 8, and on our count, turnovers tied at 8 apiece. Barr-Reeve, Josh Miller is going to lead them with 15, Boyd with 11, Graber with 11, Leininger with 6, Yoder with 4, and Neidick 3. And for the Trojans, last time for a few of these guys here, Julian Swanson finishing out with 16, Jaden Overmeyer with 10, Landon Patrick with 6, Brady Wood 3, Jamison Swanson final with his 2.
So as they get ready to present the state runner-up medals to the Triton Trojans as they all get ready to take the floor. Of course, these post-game festivities take just a little while. We cannot show them here today on our audio-only broadcast. Again, want to thank as Blaze Hensley gets his medal as they go across there. Again, for these Triton boys here today, you've inspired. You are inspired by the groups ahead of you, and today you're going to inspire the next group. I know a 6-year-old at home, for me, that is inspired by these guys. He wants to play basketball. He wants to be these guys, and today you may have not won the game. You may not won the final one of the year, but you got here. You showed a team in a community how to believe in yourself and how to, on the biggest stage, to never back down, to keep competing. And the Trojans did that here today. It may not show on the scoreboard, but they found a way to build on what is a successful program and one of the best programs in 1A basketball.
You know, you look back at these guys here, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You know, they got clear, I believe, clear into their 8th grades before they even lost a game.
Yep.
They just played so well as a team, and you always just wonder how is that going to transpire all the way up and through college or into varsity level. And we see here, you made it to the state.
You know, and for them, they proved something this year. A lot of people said they're too small. They don't belong down here. They're not going to win. They're not going to beat Marquette. They're not going to get by Couts. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere in the state finals or even get to the state finals. And for them today, they show that it's about the size of the fight inside and what you're able to do when you show up and play your brand of basketball and just go to work every single time and just execute. This team did that all season long, and for them to finish 25-4, tied for the most wins in a single season by any Triton team for boys basketball is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely just coming through there, and you look at there and you always say, you know, about one of the best records there. But yeah, Triton did go to state there, but having some of those good teams that you've played earlier in the season to learn from to get going this far down.
And, you know, and for these guys, I mean, even Barr-Reeve, especially congratulations. You had 2 great teams out here today.
Yes.
Just when it came down to it, Barr-Reeve had that momentum. They had the crowd. You know, they had that tough first quarter, and they found a way to make something work as they continue to build. That is a big deal. Yeah,
definitely. You know, that could have been kind of bad for them. That there is getting in that first quarter, getting that timeout, get regrouped, and then it finally started to start clicking and get going and got the momentum of getting tied at halftime and then started to work on through there then.
You know, as for me, I will say to our Triton boys and our coaches, I have never been more proud of a group of young men that played the right way, worked the right way, and set the example and shows what it means to be uncommon in their approach on how they attack this season. And they really lived out the Trojan way and what they're able to do. And, you know, you got to be real proud about how these boys showed up every single day. They were early. They were late to leave, and they were hungry here this week. And to get here, they are super proud. And I'm so happy for this community to get, and for me, for us as a crew, to get the opportunity to come down here and call a state championship.
Yep. Getting their trophy here now, getting their big, nice team picture with everybody there. So definitely something to put up on the, see down in the trophy case down in the gym.
And again, that's enriched forever. Your banner is up. You're going to get a ring. Your trophy will be in the trophy case where you'll be able to bring your kids one day and come and say, hey, I did that. I got to go to Indianapolis and play that game. And for guys, I'll go back to earlier. Landon Patrick and Julian Swanson played on this floor about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Brady Wood did the same thing. All as youngsters, they came out here. And I believe Brady Wood had to have his help getting his shoes tied. But again, these guys here, you got to the ultimate goal of getting back here. Yeah, today you don't leave with the hardware you wanted, but you showed up, you competed, and you represented Triton in the best way possible.
Yep, definitely. They just was right there with, and just not being able to get some of those to drop here towards the end. But yeah, you represented the community well.
And for the community that stood out and made sure the student section had plenty of tickets, Harmony Marketing Group with a great banner outside that the boys got to walk past on their way to the buses yesterday before they made the trip down. This community keeps supporting these Trojans.
Oh, yes.
They are uncommon. They are special. This community is something that is unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
It's small town Indiana. It's represented the best way, and this Triton community is one of the very best in the state of Indiana. Continue to support, continue to encourage these kids, even the ones that are just now making their way into the more competitive sports. And again, for these guys here today, as Wes sends his final stats.
Yep, final stats with the season stats, I believe.
But we are going to hang it up here from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Thank you to Orion and Kenny for all the work that you guys do. We could not do it with your guys' creativity and hard work. Appreciate you guys. And just
we
again,
couldn't do this without your
Yeah, we always say you're the glue that holds it all together and we got problems.
Well, sometimes it might be Elmer's glue depending on the day, but I appreciate you guys. And again, being a broadcaster, it's not just about getting to go call the game. I work with one of the greatest teams in broadcasting in the state of Indiana, and you guys are truly the best. Caden and Caitlin, you both did a great job this year running camera. I know our team is going to grow a little bit more next year. I've got a few conversations with a few students.
There we go.
But hey, TTSN is going to grow. It's going to be around for a while. Thank you, everyone, again, for your support this season, and continue, Trojans, to be uncommon. And as always, I'm Andy O'Hara, and until next time, remember the Trojan way.